Chapter 1807. Everyone looked at Longao. The meaning was simple, they wanted to see how Longao would choose. How would Longao choose? Would he choose the left passage or the right passage? How should he choose? The left passage? Or the right passage? Aoer, do you have a choice? He nodded. Seeing Longao nod his head, everyone's spirits were lifted, because reality proved that Longao's luck had always been good. Following Longao was much better than randomly barging in. The left passage, after thinking about it, in the end, Longao still chose the left passage, which was also the left passage that Elder Kuan had mentioned. Longao had always trusted his intuition. His intuition told him that Elder Kuan would not harm him. Because of this, without any hesitation, Longao directly chose the left passage. Whether he lived or died, it all depended on whether his intuition was right or not. No one was surprised at all. After all, Longao choosing the left passage was within their expectations. Longao, have you ever thought about what if Elder Kuan did it on purpose? How could Longao not think about this kind of worry? It was a matter of life and death, so he had to be careful at all times. Otherwise, if he was not careful, he would fall into eternal damnation. Even without Elder Kuan's reminder, we would have chosen randomly. Since it's like this, I choose to believe in Elder Kuan. Without waiting for the others to speak, Longao said again, "No matter what you choose, I have already made up my mind. Farewell." Longao did not even ask Fantian and Zilei, because in his opinion, it was best for them to make their own decisions regarding matters of life and death. Otherwise, if they were to make a mistake, who would be able to bear this responsibility in the future? "Brother Long, I'll follow you." Zilei, Fantian, Jiantian and the rest immediately followed, leaving only Xing Kuan and the rest, who did not have a good relationship with Longao. How should he choose? Everyone looked at each other. For a moment, no one could make a decision. Longao's luck is pretty good. Since Longao chose to listen to Elder Kuan, then he must have his reasons. Let's go. He gritted his teeth. If he had to die, so be it. It was better than choosing randomly. Just like that, everyone chose to follow Longao into the left passage. Just as everyone disappeared, Elder Kuan's figure suddenly appeared. Limping seemed slow, but it was actually very fast. "Not bad, kid. If you can get my inheritance, I'll be satisfied." It was almost impossible to leave the Star's secret realm. Situations like the Evil Eye Dragon were extremely rare. After all, if it weren't for Su Renfeng's body belonging to the Darkness attribute, making him a perfect match for the Evil Eye Dragon, the Evil Eye Dragon wouldn't have chosen to form a bloodline contract with him. The passageway wasn't too long. In fact, it was basically a space. Elder Kuan had purposely arranged the two passageways to test if Longao would listen to him and choose the left passageway instead of the right. A few minutes later. Have we been fooled? It was still the same space, but everyone thought of a possibility. That was, if they didn't choose the left passageway but the right one, would it also be the same space in front of them? Fortunately, everyone was rejoicing. Fortunately, they followed Longao and chose the left passageway. First, Longao's luck was too good, so good that it made people jealous. Second, Longao also trusted people. If it were anyone else, they wouldn't have dared to choose the left passageway so decisively. Again, no one knew whether Elder Kuan was a friend or foe. It turned out that Longao had made the right choice. Everyone, I want to remind you that Elder Kuan was obviously testing us. He's looking for an heir. A level 1 Starry Sky cultivator. Others might not be able to sense it, but it didn't mean that Xiling and Bailing couldn't. Longao, can you sense what realm the other party is in? Long Tian, do you think that Elder Kuan is only a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator and isn't worthy of your inheritance? Let me tell you, although Elder Kuan is only a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator, his means and supernatural powers are incomparable to a level 5 Starry Sky cultivator, even if it was just a copy. At this point, Long Ao didn't continue, but the meaning in his words was very clear. If you didn't think about it, you wouldn't know. The copy just now was really a little scary. Ha ha ha, kid, I guess that you saw through it. Sure enough, Long Ao, if you want, you can be my heir. Looking at Elder Kuan in front of him, Long Ao wasn't surprised at all. He respectfully bowed and told the truth. Elder Kuan, to be honest, I've been given many opportunities, but I haven't accepted any. I want to walk my own martial path. Although a little surprised, Elder Kuan's face was full of appreciation. Not bad at all. I won't force you. Among all of you, apart from you, this kid is not bad. Come with me. However, I have to make it clear that the duplication just now was just a smokescreen. It took me tens of thousands of years to succeed. In fact, it's useless. If you are willing, you can accept my inheritance. The 5 Elements Patriarch nodded in surprise. Although obtaining the Starry Sky inheritance was not like directly devouring the Starry Sky Godhead, it did not mean that he could not continue to devour the Starry Sky Godhead. It was a win-win situation. You guys continue, he will return to the team later. Elder Kuan left with 5 Elements Old Ancestor, while the others looked envious because Elder Kuan did have many means. If 5 Elements Old Ancestor could swallow the Starry Sky Godhead later, wouldn't it be like adding wings to a tiger? They didn't continue to be entangled. After all, Elder Kuan was just passing on the inheritance, not condensing the Starry Sky Godhead. The inheritance wouldn't die, but the condensed Starry Sky Godhead would disappear. Everyone continued to move forward, but it was very depressing because they could only move forward in the Starry Sky Secret Realm and couldn't retreat because the road behind was blocked. Long Ao, wait. Long Ao, who was walking, heard Violet Spirit's spiritual sense transmission. He did not know what had happened, but he abruptly stopped. This caused everyone in the surroundings to be a little curious. They did not know what Long Ao was doing. Brother Long, what's wrong? Let's go first, I have something to discuss with my wife. This was a secret between husband and wife. Everyone tactfully retreated to the side, but they did not continue to move forward, because everyone had already treated Long Ao as an equal. Anyone could die, but only Long Ao could not die, because these few times they had all relied on Long Ao, otherwise they would have already died. How could they still live until now? Xiling, what's the matter? Long Ao knew very well that Xiling wouldn't send him a spiritual sense transmission at this time if it wasn't something important. P.S. The 9th chapter has been delivered. There are 2 more chapters left, I will add them tomorrow. Little 9 will try to update more tomorrow, please forgive me. Chapter 1808. Long Ao, I've sensed the Jianling Spring. Jianling Spring? What was that? Before Long Ao could ask, Xiling continued, Jianling Spring is the most effective thing for all Jianling. If my sister and I can devour the Jianling Spring here, I believe we can instantly return to the Starry Sky Realm. Good news. Great news. Don't worry. I'll do my best to help you devour the Jianling Spring. Guys, I have something to do. I'd like to act alone. Huh? Hearing that Long Ao wanted to act alone, the others would definitely not agree. What a joke. Long Ao's luck and strength were there for all to see. With Long Ao around, their lives would be guaranteed. What if Long Ao decided to act alone? Long Ao, if you have anything to say, just say it. If we can help you, we will do our best to help you. Regarding the matter of the Sword Spirit Spring, Long Ao absolutely would not leak it out. Although Xing Kuan and the others had temporarily formed an alliance with him, one could never judge a book by its cover. What would he do if Xing Kuan and the others attacked him? Jianling Spring was so important to Xiling and Bai Ling that nothing could happen to it. Guys, I'm sorry. Seeing that Long Ao had made up his mind, everyone looked helpless. Long Ao turned around and left, while the others continued to walk forward. Xiling, can you locate the Jianling Spring? Devouring the Jianling Spring was not a problem. The biggest problem was how to locate the Jianling spring. Only Xiling could locate the Jianling spring. After all, Xiling and Bailing were super powerhouses at the Starry Sky Domain Emperor level. They were the ancestors of Jianling. Longao, although I don't know why the Jianling spring appeared here, I can clearly sense that there are hundreds of Jianling spring around it. F***ck Longao cursed in his heart. He knew very well what hundreds of Starry Sky Jianling meant. Xiling, what level are hundreds of Starry Sky Jianling at? The gap between a Class 1 Starry Sky Jianling and a Class 2 Starry Sky Jianling was too big. However, for him, it did not matter what level the Jianling spring they were. They should be Class 1 Starry Sky Jianling. Big Brother Long, even if they are Class 1 Starry Sky Jianling, you are no match for them. How could Longao not know this? However, Longao had already decided that no matter the danger, he would not hesitate to help the two devour the Jianling spring. They would live and die together, never leaving each other. Xiling location. It's a bit too dangerous. Location. Whether it was Xiling or Bailing, they knew Longao's character very well. Once he decided on something, he would not change his mind under normal circumstances. In desperation, Xiling could only reveal the location of the Jianling spring. The Jianling spring was hidden behind an extremely well-hidden boulder. If not for Xiling locking down the location of the Jianling spring, no one would have found it. Big Brother Long, you must be careful. Nodding, Longao concealed all of his aura. Under his perception, he had already discovered the specific locations of more than 100 Jianling springs around him. He absolutely could not act rashly. Otherwise, once he was trapped by more than 100 Jianling life essence spirits, the consequences would be unimaginable. As for the Class 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave, Longao was very clear that even if the divine mathematician was not in the Tianwu continent, once he used the power of the Class 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave, the divine mathematician would most likely sense it in the future. At that time, the consequences would be unimaginable. Because of this, Longao had never used the power of the Class 8 Starry Sky Soul Slave. It was better to be safe than sorry. Longao did not want to let any what-if happen. What should he do? It was almost impossible to devour the Jianling spring without anyone noticing. Under normal circumstances, Xiling and Bailing were the ancestors of Jianling. These Starry Sky Jianling springs should have listened to Xiling and Bailing. However, this was the Starry Sky Secret Realm. Most likely, these so-called Starry Sky Jianling springs were just puppets. Thinking about it, there was only one solution. Xiling, Bailing, wait for me. I'll use teleportation to send you into the Jianling spring. Remember, go all out to devour it. Don't worry about me. I'll lure all of these Starry Sky Jianling springs away. It was a method with a slim chance of survival. However, in this case, there seemed to be no better way than this. No, Big Brother Long, I won't agree to this. You're risking your life to give us a chance to devour the Jianling spring. Even if we devour the Jianling spring, I won't live alone. Bailing, listen to me first. I can use teleportation. I can protect myself. Do it. Not giving Bailing the opportunity to continue speaking, Longao took a big stride, and his entire figure had already disappeared without a trace with the help of space teleportation. The Jianling spring was a medium-sized mustache with a kind of liquid flowing inside. There was no doubt that this was the Jianling spring that Xiling and Bailing had mentioned. It could help them recover to the Starry Sky realm. With the breakthrough in his cultivation, the power of teleportation had greatly increased. Based on the current situation, Longao could teleport about 1,000 meters each time he used teleportation. If he could reach the Nirvana Rebirth realm, he could teleport 10,000 meters. Longao was less than 1,000 meters away from the Jianling spring. He arrived in front of the Jianling spring in a flash. Hundreds of Starry Sky Jianling swarmed toward Longao. The Jianling spring is a forbidden area. Trespassers will be killed without mercy. The hundreds of starry sky sword spirits were shocked, because no one had ever dared to trespass in this place for so many years. With hundreds of starry sky sword spirits joining forces, even a grade 2 starry sky cultivator would not be able to gain any advantage, let alone a puny Nirvana realm cultivator. The opportunity had come. Longao sent Xiling and Bai Ling into the Jianling Spring without anyone noticing. This time, he did not use teleportation. Instead, he took a big stride and rushed out. In this way, the hundreds of Jianling should all be attracted. Sure enough, no one would come here under such circumstances. Therefore, the hundreds of starry sky Jianling chased after Longao. Inside the Jianling Spring, Bai Ling looked worried and said, "Sister, will Brother Long be okay?" "No, let's hurry up and devour the Jianling Spring." Xiling and Bai Ling did not hesitate because they knew very well that the longer they delayed, the more disadvantageous it would be for Longao. They knew Longao's character very well. Instead of dilly-dallying, they would choose to devour the Jianling Spring as soon as possible. This way, when they broke through to the Starry Sky realm, they would be able to help Longao in the future. P.S. I owe 2 chapters from yesterday. This is the first chapter to make up for it. Chapter 1809. Bai Ling, this Jianling Spring is the best tonic for us. Continue, don't absorb it all. Refine it slowly. Sister, I understand. Bai Ling was not in the mood to absorb the Jianling Spring. All her attention was on Longao. Will Brother Long be okay? Longao had underestimated the speed of the Jianling. Even though he was very fast with the help of space teleportation, he was still surrounded by the Jianling. Boy, you trespassed the Jianling Spring. Kill without mercy. Hundreds of Jianling released sword chi, suppressing Longao. It was as if a mountain was pressing down on him. At the same time, he released sword chi. Sword chi? Sensing the terrifying sword chi that erupted from Longao's body, the surrounding starry sky sword spirits seemed to be a little surprised. Kill. Since things had already come to this point, Longao naturally knew that this battle was unavoidable. In this case, there was no need to waste time. Longao could only die if he fought against hundreds of Jianling. However, Longao knew that he had to buy time. After all, Xiling and Bai Ling needed time to absorb the Jianling Spring. God knew how long it would take. With the Samsara sword in hand, Longao used the first 3 moves of the 36 Samsara forms, Samsara 9 kills, Samsara dance, and Samsara dance. Even so, it was impossible for Longao to defeat the Starry Sky sword spirit. He could only retreat. He kept retreating, and the distance between them and the Jianling Spring was getting farther and farther. Sword formation. The opponent's strength was not great, but his speed was very fast. If this continued, God knew when he could kill him. Jiuzhou Continent. In the Dragon Valley. Yu'in and Aoshue sat quietly in the courtyard. They were worried about Longao's safety. I don't know what's wrong with Big Brother Long, but I've been feeling uneasy these days. Sister Aoshue, Brother Long is fine. You, on the other hand, make me worried. At the mention of children, Aoshue's face was filled with happiness. Sister Yu'in, why don't we go look for Brother Long? Hearing this, Yu'in was shocked. If Aoshue wasn't pregnant, then it would be fine to look for Brother Long. But now, no matter what, he couldn't take the risk. If something happened to Aoshue, how was he going to answer to Brother Long? Sister Aoshue, let's just stay here obediently. What you need to do now is to take care of the baby. He had been cultivating since he was in his mother's womb. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed it. Since Yu'in had already said so, Aoshue had no choice but to obey. Longao's 3 confidants were Aoshue, Yu'in, and Bai Ling. Of the 3, Yu'in was the eldest, Aoshue the second, and Bai Ling the third. Sister Aoshue, because of the child, your cultivation has successfully broken through to the Nirvana realm. I believe it won't be long before you reach the Nirvana rebirth realm. Regardless of whether it was Yuin or Aoshue, both of them had already successfully reached the Nirvana stage. They were only a step away from officially breaking through to the Nirvana rebirth stage and truly standing at the peak of the martial way. Before Brother Long left, he told us to speed up our cultivation and try to reach the Nirvana rebirth realm before he returns. That way, we'll be able to devour the cosmos Godhead. If they were in the vast cosmos, Longao would have advocated for them to comprehend the origin force and break through to the star sky realm. However, the situation was completely different now. The martial sky continent was only a mid-ranked plane controlled by the divine mathematician and the heavenly Tao. They couldn't leave without permission. Furthermore, unless they broke through to the star sky realm, they wouldn't be able to leave the martial sky continent. It was precisely because of this. After thinking about it, Longao decided to let Aoshue and Yuin devour all of the starry sky god deity. As long as he continued to supply the two female stars with the starry sky god deity, it wouldn't be difficult for the two girls to improve their cultivation in the future. Sister, I'm not in the mood to cultivate right now. I'll just let nature take its course. According to Sister Bai Ling, the child in my belly can help me improve automatically. I have a feeling that in less than a year, my cultivation will naturally break through to the Nirvana rebirth realm. He shrugged helplessly. Yuin smiled and said, I hope Brother Long returns safely. The two of them had the same wish, and that was for Longao to return safely. After Xing Kuan and the others entered the star sky secret realm, the martial sky continent calmed down. The 10 cardinal tripods seemed to have fallen into a deep slumber. Only the second and third tier powers were still restless. However, in front of the 10 cardinal tripod, some small sects didn't dare to act rashly. Outsiders might not know about the 10 cardinal tripod, but there were many second and third tier powers. How could they not know? If the ancestors and master of the 10 cardinal tripod entered the star sky secret realm, there would only be two results. The first was that everyone died inside, and the second was that someone managed to come out alive and devour the cosmos Godhead. The person who came out alive would represent a sect that could dominate the martial sky continent. As for the sects that didn't come out alive, there would only be one result. They would be destroyed and disappear from the martial sky continent forever. The 10 cardinal tripod were all waiting for their ancestors and master to come out alive. Before they knew it, a month had passed. No one had come out of the star sky secret realm. No one knew whether they were alive or dead. A month after everyone left the sky martial continent, the heaven and earth sect that had been destroyed suddenly rose from the ashes. The sect leader of the heaven and earth sect, Yi Dugu, brought 30 Nirvana realm martial artists and rose up in the sky martial continent. If the 19 of them hadn't entered the secret realm, then even Yi Dugu wouldn't have been able to bring the heaven and earth sect to prominence on the martial heaven continent. However, in this situation, Yi Dugu had gained a huge advantage. Other than Longao, no one else knew about Yi Dugu's identity. Otherwise, who would dare to go against Yi Dugu? With the God Diviner as his backer, he could simply sweep through the world. The 10 direction cauldrons shut their doors and refused to fight. This was because everyone knew that if they wanted to go against the heaven and earth sect without the old ancestor and grandmaster around, they would be courting death. The only way now was to shut their doors and not fight. It wouldn't be too late to fight after the old ancestor and grandmaster returned. Even Yi Dugu couldn't do anything about the 10 cardinal tripod. He couldn't rely on the God Diviner's reputation and power. Without breaking through to the starry sky realm, he wouldn't be able to destroy the 10 cardinal tripod. Even Yi Dugu hoped that the 19 people of the 10 cardinal tripod would all die in the star sky secret realm. That way, he could completely dominate the martial sky continent. At that time, with his father's power, even the heavenly Daos wouldn't be able to interfere. Author's note: Yesterday's last chapter has been added. Today there are 3 more chapters. Chapter 1810. Inside the Secret Realm of Stars. Longao didn't fight the Jianling head-on. He just kept wandering, luring us away. Let's retreat. The hundreds of starry sky Jianling weren't fools. They just kept wandering and didn't leave. The only explanation was that they did it on purpose to lure us away. If the hundreds of starry sky Jianling returned to the Jianling fountainhead, they would be in big trouble. You want to leave? Holding the Samsara sword, he attacked wildly with Samsara sword chi. One after another, they kept coming. The hundreds of starry sky Jianling couldn't care less. They rushed back as fast as they could. And the result? Within the sword spirit spring, Violet Spirit and White Spirit had already finished devouring. Just as the 2 of them had guessed, the 2 of them had not completely refined the sword spirit spring, but had only refined half of it. Even so, both Xiling and Bai Ling had recovered to the Starry Sky realm. They were only at the level 1 Starry Sky realm, but they were pleasantly surprised. With the remaining half of the Jianling fountainhead, they were confident that they could recover to the level 6 Starry Sky realm with the help of the Jianling fountainhead. We've been fooled. Who are you? Sister, let them go. Bai Ling certainly knew what her sister wanted to do. Soft-hearted, Bai Ling asked for help. As for Purple Spirit, she snorted coldly. Before the hundreds of Starry Sky sword spirits could react, the hundreds of Starry Sky sword spirits were instantly devoured. They did not even have the chance to react. Longao, who was chasing after them, saw Xiling devouring the hundreds of Starry Sky Jianling. He knew that Xiling and Bai Ling had recovered to the Starry Sky realm after devouring the Jianling fountainhead. Are you okay? It's okay. Thank you so much. Xiling was sincerely grateful to Longao. Without Longao's help, it would have been too difficult for the 2 of them to recover to the Starry Sky realm. The Martial Heaven continent was only a middle-grade plane, and a sealed middle-grade plane at that. Xiling was almost certain that other than the Star Secret Realm, there was no other place on the Martial Heaven continent that could produce Jianling. This is what I should do. Big Brother Long, my sister and I have already devoured the Jianling spring, but there is still a 10th of it left for you. Left it for me? Longao asked curiously, what do I need the Jianling spring for? Your current cultivation is only at the Nirvana stage. With our help, as long as you devour the remaining Jianling spring, you should be able to advance to the next level. He was overjoyed. Longao was naturally very clear about the meaning in Purple Spirit's words. Without the slightest hesitation, Longao jumped into the Jianling spring. If Longao devoured the Jianling spring alone, not only would he not be able to use it to break through to the Nirvana Rebirth realm, he might even suffer a backlash from the Jianling spring. Only death would await him. However, the current situation was completely different. Xiling and Bai Ling glanced at each other, and the 2 of them acted together. 2 hours later, Longao stood up, opened his eyes, and let out a long breath. He was pleasantly surprised. He hadn't expected that with the help of Xiling and Bai Ling, he would be able to break through to the Nirvana Rebirth realm in just 2 hours. This time, he had entered the Star Secret realm and received unexpected result. After breaking through to the Nirvana Rebirth realm, the next thing he had to do was comprehend his own origin energy. If he had been outside the Martial Heaven continent, he definitely wouldn't have been able to comprehend his own origin energy. The reason was simple. The origin energy of the Martial Heaven continent had been sealed by the godly mathematician and the heavenly Tao. No one could sense it. Without being able to sense the origin energy, how could he possibly comprehend the origin energy? If he couldn't comprehend it, he wouldn't be able to break through to the Star Secret realm. However, it was different in the Star Secret realm. There was origin energy in the Star Secret realm. He could take advantage of this opportunity to comprehend his own origin energy. It was easy to think about, but difficult to actually do. If it was easy to comprehend origin energy, Zilei and the others wouldn't have needed to devour the godheads. Brother Long, your cultivation has smoothly broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm. Don't comprehend origin energy for now. Wait until you reach the peak of the Nirvana rebirth realm and completely stabilize your foundation. I believe that comprehending origin energy will be very beneficial to your future breakthroughs. I understand. Xiling and Bai Ling returned to the Dragon Seal space. As for Longao, he left to look for Zilei and the others. Along the way, Zilei and the others didn't encounter any danger for 2 hours. Even so, no one was careless. The Star Secret Realm was filled with danger. The slightest carelessness could lead to eternal damnation. Longao is back. Seeing that Longao had returned smoothly, everyone was pleasantly surprised, including Xing Kuan. Before leaving the Star Secret Realm, Xing Kuan and the others were temporarily allies with Longao. In order to leave the Star Secret Realm smoothly, neither side would act recklessly. Nirvana Rebirth Realm? Everyone was a Nirvana Rebirth Realm cultivator. Naturally, they could sense Longao's aura. Because of this, everyone was shocked. No one had expected that Longao would break through the Nirvana Rebirth Realm and reach the Nirvana Rebirth Realm in just 2 hours. Congratulations, Brother Longao. Congratulations? Longao nodded. Obviously, he didn't want to talk about his Nirvana Rebirth Realm. Even if he didn't say it, the others had already guessed that Longao must have encountered some kind of opportunity. Thinking about Longao leaving alone, it would be a lie to say that they weren't angry. In everyone's opinion, Longao was doing it on purpose. He wanted to monopolize the opportunity. However, Xing Kuan and the others didn't say anything. It was normal for Longao to want to monopolize the opportunity. If he didn't want to monopolize it, he'd be a fool to share it. Xing Kuan and the others could endure it, but it didn't mean that the others could. Long Tian smiled and said, Longao, according to my guess, you must have encountered some kind of opportunity when you left this time. As a result, your strength has soared. You and I have temporarily become allies. The increase in our strength is beneficial for everyone. Long Tian's intention was already very clear. He wanted Longao to tell him the secret of leaving this time. Not only Long Tian, he believed that the others also wanted to know. To be able to break through a level in a short period of 2 hours, this kind of opportunity was simply too powerful. This was even more awesome than devouring the starry sky divine deity. Why should I tell you, idiot? The grudge between Longao and Long Tian had reached the point where they couldn't tolerate each other. He could temporarily form an alliance with Xing Kuan and the others, but he didn't want to form an alliance with Long Tian. He wouldn't hesitate even if it meant falling out with Long Tian. Chapter 1811. Rage. For the sake of the big picture, Long Tian finally swallowed it down. Even though the crowd did not pursue the matter, they had already decided in their hearts that the next time, no matter what Longao did, they would follow him closely. The crowd continued forward. Now that Longao's cultivation base had reached Nirvana Rebirth state, he was truly at the same height as everyone else. Before his cultivation base reached Nirvana Rebirth state, no matter how Longao counterattacked, he would not be acknowledged by the others. Is there no danger? The journey was peaceful, without any surprises or dangers. The calmer it was, the more the crowd did not dare to relax. As the saying goes, caution is the parent of safety. Everyone, be careful. It's too peaceful. Everyone nodded. Indeed, the surroundings were really peaceful. It was so peaceful that it was a little strange, a little scary. Hee. A sinister voice suddenly rang out, followed by a gigantic dragon that was dozens of feet long appearing in midair. The sudden appearance of the evil-eye demon dragon and Su Renfeng meant that the man and dragon were not dead. They had just turned into undead spirits. Su Renfeng had devoured a rank 1 god lattice. With the help of the evil-eye demon dragon, Su Renfeng's cultivation base had reached Starry Sky state in just a few days. Even though he was only a rank 1 Starry Sky cultivator, Su Renfeng was confident that he could take care of everyone. Rage. Towering rage. In the eyes of the evil-eyed demon dragon, if not for Longao's appearance, he and Su Renfeng would have broken through to rank 2 Starry Sky state. It was because of Longao that they could not break through to rank 2 Starry Sky state and even turned into undead spirit. They swore to kill Longao and the others. Evil-eyed demon dragon? Su Renfeng? Looking at the man and dragon that appeared in the 9 heavens, everyone was completely stunned. No one had expected that the man and dragon that had fallen were still alive. Not only that, Su Renfeng had even broken through to Starry Sky state. Everyone was completely terrified. They kept retreating. Now that things had come to this, everyone was clear that there was only one way out, and that was to run. Ha ha ha, are you guys afraid? Today, I'll show you guys the true strength of a Starry Sky cultivator. Longao took a step forward and arrived in the 9 heavens, right in front of the man and dragon. Instantly shrinking, the evil-eyed demon dragon turned into a human-shaped martial artist. Longao, this has nothing to do with you. The evil-eyed dragon knew very well that if Longao could kill it once, he could kill it twice, thrice, or even 4 or 5 times. Before his cultivation broke through to grade 2 Starry Sky cultivator, he really did not want to take any risk. Senior Evil Eye, I know what to do. Shut up. Su Renfeng cursed in his mind, but he did not dare to say anything. Even if he was angry, he did not dare to speak. Even if he had become a Starry Sky undead spirit and his cultivation had broken through to the Starry Sky realm, the evil-eyed demon dragon was still the leader. Only a fool would provoke the evil-eyed demon dragon. Longao, I will naturally find you to settle the grudges between you and me in the future. But now I want them. The biggest reason why the evil-eyed devil dragon was so anxious and couldn't even wait for a moment was because of the level 4 Starry Sky divine deity that Fun Tian had devoured. In his opinion, as long as he devoured the level 4 Starry Sky divine deity, when his cultivation broke through to the level 4 Starry Sky cultivator, killing Longao would be a matter of minutes. The evil-eyed demon dragon had everything planned out. Once his cultivation broke through to the level 4 Starry Sky cultivator, he would kill Longao, seize the level 4 Starry Sky divine deity, and then let Su Renfeng devour it. Their cultivation would all break through to the level 4 Starry Sky realm. When they joined forces, who under the level 5 Starry Sky would be their opponent? His wishful thinking was pretty good. Longao was not a fool. Of course, he knew what the evil-eyed demon dragon was thinking. The Samsara arts appeared in his right hand. Longao did not speak, but his meaning was very clear. In addition to being afraid of Longao, the evil-eyed demon dragon was even more afraid of the divine sword in the other party's hand. A man and a sword could actually resist it and even kill it. If it had not experienced it personally, it would have been hard to believe. Let's go. Longao, don't think you've won. I'm telling you now, we won't settle this score. You'd better be careful. The man and dragon disappeared in an instant. Longao, thank you. Everyone heaved a sigh of relief, because they were very clear in their hearts that the reason why a man and a dragon left was because of Longao's deterrence. It was really hard to believe that with Longao's strength, he actually scared a man and a dragon away. Longao did not speak. He just looked at everyone coldly and said, "Listen carefully. I used my wife's power to kill Su Renfeng and the evil-eye demon dragon, but I can only use it once. A second time is impossible. It's best not to let the evil-eye demon dragon see any flaws. Otherwise, we'll be in big trouble." Everyone nodded. In another place, Senior Evil Eye, Longao obviously used some kind of power before. My cultivation has smoothly broken through to the Starry Sky realm. If you and I join forces, I don't believe we can't kill him. Su Renfeng was not like the evil-eye demon dragon. Even if Longao continued to use some kind of mysterious power, once they joined forces, would Longao be able to resist? It was almost impossible. However, the evil-eyed demon dragon shook its head and said helplessly, "We're already Starry Sky undead. If anything unexpected happens, you and I will truly die, so I don't want any accidents to happen. Senior Evil Eye, what should we do?" If they did not want any accidents to happen, wouldn't they never be able to deal with Longao? Su Renfeng was unwilling, but he still did not dare to go against the evil-eye demon dragon's will. After thinking about it, the evil-eye demon dragon said, "Although we can't take the risk, we can follow them. I'm confident we can successfully kill Longao in this place." So that's it. Hearing that the evil-eye demon dragon did not intend to let Longao and the others go, Su Renfeng was relieved. He was still worried that if they swallowed the Starry Sky Godhead and broke through to the Starry Sky realm, then he and the evil-eye demon dragon would no longer have the slightest advantage. If that happened, the consequences would be unimaginable. Just like that, the evil-eye demon dragon and Su Renfeng did not leave. Instead, they followed the group. With the two's concealment, even Longao and the others could not find any trace of the evil-eye demon dragon and Su Renfeng. "I keep feeling that something is not right. Do you feel it?" The myriad beast's ancestor was very unnatural. Even if Longao's deterrence had forced the evil-eye demon dragon and Su Renfeng to leave for the time being, the man and dragon would not give up so easily. If they launched a sneak attack, it would be very troublesome. Chapter 18:12. Not only Thousand Beasts' old ancestor, but the others also felt the same. Everyone stopped in their tracks. Five Elements' old ancestor said with a gloomy face, "I believe everyone has some understanding of my ability. My perception of the power of the five elements is above everyone." Did Five Elements' old ancestor sense something? Five Elements' old ancestor, as the old ancestor of Five Elements sect, was born with the Five Elements body. His perception of the power of the five elements was far better than others. "I can use the power of the earth element here to sense that evil-eye demon dragon and Su Renfeng have been following us." The purpose was simple, that was to sneak attack them. The sneak attack of two Starry Sky cultivators, who could resist it? A sneak attack was more terrifying than a frontal attack. What should they do? What should they do? Everyone, I believe everyone knows what the sneak attack of Su Renfeng and Evil-Eye Demon Dragon means. If we continue to be passive like this, I'm afraid everyone knows what the result will be. Xingquan, if you have something to say, just say it. Many people were unhappy because how could they not know what Xingquan said? My meaning is very simple. We must get rid of the man and the dragon, otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Nonsense. Who didn't want to get rid of the man and the dragon, but could they? Whether it was Su Renfeng or Evil-Eye Demon Dragon, they were both Starry Sky cultivators. Not only were their strength far above them, but their speed was also far above them. In this case, how could they get rid of the man and the dragon? Xingquan, do you have a way? Shaking his head. F***ck, everyone saw Xingquan shake his head and almost cursed. They had seen shameless people, but they had never seen such a shameless person. If it weren't for Xingquan's powerful strength, many people would have attacked. Don't look at how everyone worked together before, in fact, the 10 sides had always been fighting openly and secretly. Xingquan looked at Longao and said, Longao, you should have a way, right? Me? Longao's face changed instantly, because what did Xingquan mean? Xingquan, are you looking for trouble? If Brother Long had a way, he would have said it long ago. Are you trying to tell us that Brother Long is hiding something from us? Not only was the Purple Thunder Patriarch furious, but everyone else, including those who didn't get along with Longao, was also furious. Under such circumstances, would it be possible for Longao to hide anything? It was almost impossible. If Longao wanted them dead, He could have done so earlier. Why wait until now? What good would it do for Longao if he did this? There was almost no benefit at all. The Five Elements Patriarch also snorted and coldly said, Xing Kuan, the situation is critical now. If you have no other choice, then shut up. If you want to sow discord, then don't blame us for being impolite. The punishment slowly approached the old ancestor. Who knew if it would directly start a war? A great battle was about to break out. At this moment, Xing Kuan suddenly laughed. Everyone has misunderstood. I don't mean anything else. I just want to ask if Longao has a way. Was that really the case? Looking at the smiling Xing Kuan, what else could they do? Were they really going to start a war? If that was the case, it wouldn't benefit anyone. I do have a way, but I need Xing Kuan's help. I wonder if you are willing? Trying to steal a chicken only to end up losing the rice used to lure it. For some reason, Xing Kuan felt that things weren't going well. However, things had already come to this. If he refused, wouldn't he become everyone's enemy? He couldn't refuse. Please say it. If I can do it, I will definitely do it for you. That's good. Among us, Xing Kuan, you are known as the strongest under the starry sky. I believe no one will object, right? Although they didn't know what Longao wanted to say, everyone nodded. Xing Kuan's strength was there for all to see. He was the strongest under the starry sky and infinitely close to the starry sky realm. However, without devouring origin energy or a starry sky godhead, he couldn't truly become a starry sky cultivator. Su Renfeng and the evil-eye demon dragon obviously won't let this go. As long as Xing Kuan is willing, he can block them for us for a while. In just 3 minutes we can successfully shake them off. At that time, I believe that with Xing Kuan's ability, we can definitely turn danger into safety. Hearing Longao's mockery, some people couldn't help but laugh. Xing Kuan wasn't Longao. Even if he was known as the strongest under the starry sky, he still wasn't a starry sky cultivator. Not to mention 3 minutes, it was unknown if he could even block them for 3 seconds. Longao was obviously mocking Xing Kuan. How could Xing Kuan not know this? Because of this, Xing Kuan's face instantly turned gloomy. This time, they really went for wool and came home shorn. Longao, you overestimate my strength. I may not be able to, but you can. With contempt and mockery written all over his face, Longao said coldly, You're a piece of trash. All of you leave first. I will cover the rear. Hearing this, everyone was delighted. However, they knew that among so many people, only Longao could deter Su Renfeng and the evil-eye demon dragon. Therefore, everyone slowly retreated, turned around, and quickly left. Evil-eye demon dragon, Su Renfeng, come out. Longao, you've spoiled my plans several times. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Seeing Longao choose to cover the rear, how could Su Renfeng and the evil-eye demon dragon not know that as starry sky cultivators, they were looked down upon by a little Longao? How could they not lose face? Not only that, Longao's actions obviously did not put them in his eyes. It was simply unbearable. The secret cave could endure, but the chrysanthemum could not. Su Renfeng, evil-eye demon dragon, the grudge between us will definitely be resolved in the future. However, right now we are doing our own things. You keep following us like this. Isn't it a bit unkind? If you want, we can fight. Even if I have to risk the consequences of the backlash, I will still kill you. Do you dare to fight? Do you dare to fight? Hearing Longao's challenge, both Su Renfeng and the evil-eye demon dragon were completely dumbfounded. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes, they really wouldn't have believed that a little Nirvana realm cultivator would take the initiative to challenge them. The more confident Longao was, the less confident the man and the dragon were. Could it be that Longao really had something to rely on? Coupled with the previous lesson, it would be a lie to say that the man and the dragon weren't afraid. After all, Longao had used some kind of mysterious power and a starry sky divine artifact to kill the evil-eye demon dragon. How could they not be afraid? Retreating again and again, the man and the dragon finally became timid. They didn't dare to accept the challenge at all. They didn't even speak. The man and the dragon quickly turned around and left. In the blink of an eye, they had disappeared without a trace. Chapter 1813. Longao, my sister and I will work together. Killing those two shouldn't be a problem. After devouring the Jianling Spring, Xiling and Bai Ling's cultivation bases had recovered to the Starry Sky realm. They were confident they could kill Su Renfeng and the evil-eye devil dragon. Longao shook his head. How could he not know that Xiling and Bai Ling's powers were enough to kill a man and a dragon? Even so, could they really do it? Xiling, I know what you mean. Although the godly mathematician isn't on the martial heaven continent, I don't want to leave any trouble behind. Longao wasn't afraid of the dragon and the man, but the godly mathematician. Xiling didn't continue. Caution was the parent of safety. They didn't dare to take the risk. If the godly mathematician found out about this, the three of them could already guess what the consequences would be. However, Longao had already thought about it. If the man and the dragon were really aggressive, even if he had to risk being discovered by the divine mathematician, he would still have to kill them. Everyone, including Longao, was very gloomy. They had been in the star-secret realm for an entire month, but they still didn't know anything about it. When would it end? While Longao was gathering everyone, the star-secret realm began to tremble. The entire space began to tremble as information about the star-secret realm appeared in everyone's mind. It turned out that the star-secret realm had 9 spaces. The number 9 was the highest, and 1 was the beginning. The space they were in was the first space. That was why everyone was shocked. Just the first space was so terrifying and dangerous. They had almost died several times. It was hard to imagine how dangerous the next 8 spaces would be. I believe you've already received the information. The star-secret realm has 9 spaces. As long as we can pass through 3 of them, we can leave the star-secret realm. Everyone had a serious look on their faces because they believed that even the 3 great spaces were full of danger. There were already first-level star realm cultivators and first-level star realm divine beasts in the first space. It was hard to imagine what kind of experts would appear in the second and third spaces. We'll deal with whatever comes our way. Since we've chosen to enter the star-secret realm, we must be prepared to die. Just as Fun Tian finished speaking, everyone realized that they were already enveloped by the qi. In the next second, everyone disappeared from the space. Before anyone could react, they found themselves in another space. Origin energy. I can clearly sense the origin energy here. Longao was also a little surprised, as he had already guessed that the space he was in must be the second space of the 9 great spaces in the starry sky. In the secondary space, it was more than 10 times more powerful than the origin power in the primary space. If he could comprehend the source energy here, he believed that he would be able to comprehend his own source energy very quickly. Comprehending the origin power to break through to the starry sky realm was much better than devouring a starry sky godhead. Big Brother Long, don't try to comprehend the origin energy here. Bai Ling, what happened? Longao, who was preparing to comprehend the power of origin, was shocked when he suddenly heard Bai Ling's words. He knew very well that Bai Ling would not harm him. Was there something wrong with the origin energy here? He had successfully broken through to the nirvana rebirth state. Although he hadn't reached the peak state yet, Longao was still preparing to comprehend the origin energy while stabilizing his state. He didn't want to waste any time. Big Brother Long, the origin energy here has been tampered with. If you comprehend the origin energy here, it will be controlled by others in the future, even if you can reproduce your own. So that was it. Longao, you must remember that not only can you not comprehend the origin energy here, but you can't absorb or devour it either. None of you should devour or comprehend the origin energy. Everyone, stop right now. Everyone was ready to comprehend the origin energy. Even those who had devoured starry sky godheads were preparing to devour the origin energy. Hearing Longao's words, everyone was shocked. Brother Long, what happened? Under such circumstances, Longao did not conceal anything at all. He narrated everything that he knew in full detail. There are dangers everywhere in the star-mysterious realm. It's really hard to guard against them. Everybody nodded in agreement. If it weren't for Longao's reminder, they would have started to devour the origin energy and even comprehend it. The consequences would have been unimaginable. What should we do now? Be careful. I believe you've already seen how dangerous the primary space is. If I'm not mistaken, the secondary space should be far more dangerous than the primary space. Everybody shrugged helplessly. There was nothing they could do. They had to move on even though they knew the path ahead was full of dangers. They knew that they had to pass through 3 spaces if they wanted to leave the star-mysterious realm. So far, they had only passed the first space. There were still 2 spaces left. As for the other 6 spaces, Longao was almost certain that nobody below the star state could enter the 4th space and beyond. Everybody kept moving forward. There were mountains everywhere. They were connected to each other as far as the eye could see. Have you noticed that the mountains are constantly moving? Everybody stopped again because they had noticed that the mountains around them were constantly moving. They wouldn't have noticed it if they hadn't been observing carefully. Starry Sky Divine Sparks. Purple Thunder Patriarch was the first to notice the 2 Starry Sky Divine Sparks. Before the others could react, he and Longao had already dashed out. With the help of space teleportation, Longao's speed soared to the extreme. He arrived at the location of the 2 Starry Sky Divine Sparks after a few teleportations. His cultivation had successfully broken through to the Nirvana Rebirth realm. Longao's spatial teleportation had also increased by a level. With one teleportation, he could teleport several thousand meters away. Among all the people here, who could resist Longao? Longao was already the strongest in terms of speed and strength. Even Xing Kuan, who was known as the strongest under the star state, wouldn't dare to fight him head-on, because Longao was already strong enough to shake their strength when he was only comprehending the world. They knew that Longao's speed was incomparable, but they still scrambled for the Starry Sky Divine Sparks. The temptation was too great. Grabbing the 2 Starry Sky Divine Sparks, Longao was overjoyed. He nodded at Purple Thunder Patriarch. The relationship between the 2 didn't need to be said. The 2 were surrounded by everybody. Long Tian said in an extremely cold voice, Longao, since you don't want to devour the Starry Sky Divine Sparks, why don't you hand them over? We risked our lives to come here for the Starry Sky Divine Sparks, but you've been the first to get them. Are you going to let us go back empty-handed? Chapter 1814. Long Tian's intention was clear. He wanted the 2 Starry Sky Godheads in Longao's hands. Envy, jealousy, and hatred. It would be a lie to say that they weren't envious. Ever since they entered the Star Secret Realm, every time they found a Starry Sky Godhead, it would be snatched by Longao without exception. Once, twice, but what about the 3rd or 4th time? Everyone was panicking. Do you have any shame? We've already agreed that the Starry Sky Godhead will depend on our own abilities. At this point, no one cared about anything else. Longao, we owe you a favor. Hand over the Starry Sky Godhead. Longao didn't want to talk nonsense. With the help of spatial teleportation, Longao's body disappeared from the spot. In the next second, he appeared in front of Fun Tian and Yi Tianhua. Senior Jian Tian, this is yours. Thank you. Jian Tian didn't hold back and directly devoured the starry sky godhead. Although it was only a rank 1 starry sky godhead, it was something that Jian Tian yearned for. Yi Tianhua, I know you're unhappy with me, but for Big Brother Zilei, let's forget about our grudges. How about that? He smiled awkwardly. Yi Tianhua knew very well that even without the old ancestor, he wouldn't be a match for Longao with his current strength. Going against Longao was courting death. Seeing that Yi Tianhua didn't say anything, Longao smiled. Thank you. Yi Tianhua reached out and took the rank 1 starry sky godhead. Without hesitation, he devoured the starry sky godhead. Since then, the 5 people who had a good relationship with Longao had all obtained their own starry sky godhead. As for Xing Kun and the others, other than the 5 elements Old Ancestor and Shurchong, the rest didn't get the starry sky godhead they wanted. Anger. Unwillingness. If this continued, how could they get the starry sky godhead? After all, Longao's speed was too fast. With such a powerful spatial divine tool, no one could beat Longao's speed. Long Tian, Long Di Tian, Su Tian, Tong Zun, Thousand Beasts Old Ancestor, Shurchong, 5 Elements Old Ancestor, Xing Kun, and Punishment Elder stared at Longao, as if they wanted to shed all pretense of cordiality. Longao, we want a promise from you. Please speak. Unless it was absolutely necessary, Longao was unwilling to shed all pretense of cordiality. In any case, they had only just entered the secondary space, and there was still the tertiary space that they had yet to see. If they were to fight openly, none of them would be able to leave the star mysterious realm. Longao was wary of the star mystic realm, and so were the others. You're faster than us, Longao, Yangqi said. If you keep going like this, then it doesn't matter if it's in the past, now, or even in the future, you'll get all the starry sky godhood you want. What the hell are we doing? To tell the truth, they had entered the star mysterious realm to fight for the starry sky godhoods. Who would have thought that a freak would appear out of nowhere, and his speed was frighteningly fast. Although Longao did not devour the starry sky divine deity, he had already broken through 2 levels consecutively by relying on lucky chances, reaching the Nirvana rebirth realm. Everyone was very wary of Longao. If they couldn't devour the starry sky godhoods, who would be able to resist Longao after they left the star mysterious realm with the help of Purple Thunder and the others? That was why they had to devour the starry sky godhoods on this trip to the star mysterious realm. That way, they would at least be able to resist Longao even after they left the star mysterious realm. How shameless! Purple Thunder Ancestor's face was full of contempt and mockery. Unknowingly, Purple Thunder, Fantian, and the others were standing behind Longao. The 15 of them were divided into 2 groups, staring at each other. A battle could break out at any moment. Longao, could it be that you want to take all the starry sky godhoods for yourself? Xing Kun and the others were unwilling to give in. If they couldn't get the starry sky godhoods, they would rather fight Longao. After all, leaving the star mysterious realm was a dead end if they couldn't get the starry sky godhoods. Xing Kun, Thousand Beasts Ancestor, Long Tian, 5 Elements Ancestor, I can't promise you this. The only thing I can promise you is that I won't touch the extra ones if you get more than 2 starry sky godhoods. This is my bottom line. Longao, you've gone too far. More than 2 starry sky godhoods? Was this a joke? Along the way, they had only found 1 starry sky godhood. If they were lucky, they would only find 2 starry sky godhoods. They had never seen more than 2 starry sky godhoods. Longao was clearly toying with them. Enraged, everyone was ready to fight. However, they were wary of the dangers in the star mysterious realm. No one was willing to take the risk until the last moment. Longao, don't force us. Even if it's dangerous, we will kill you. Everyone was pressing on. Although Longao's cultivation had broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm, Xing Kun and the others were confident that they could kill him and win if it was 9 against 6. Although killing Longao and the others would increase the danger they would face, the chances of devouring the starry sky godhoods would increase greatly. Zilei and the others didn't say anything because the decision was still in Longao's hands. Fight. Just one word was enough to express Longao's attitude. Longao knew very well that if he took a step back, he would have to take a step back later. The greed of man knew no bounds. Zilei and the others had successfully devoured the starry sky godhoods. He planned to find more starry sky godhoods for his family in the following time. Only when the Dragon Valley's strength grew would he feel more at ease. It was a shock. Xing Kuan and the others thought that Longao would choose to compromise, but in the end, Longao chose to fight. In this case, even if they could kill Longao and the others, they were afraid that the 9 of them would also suffer losses. Perhaps no one was willing to see this kind of result where both sides suffered losses. Retreating, Xing Kuan and the others sneered and said, "From now on, we will act separately. Longao, you better not snatch our starry sky godhoods. Otherwise, we will not let you go." Xing Kuan and the others knew very well that with Longao's speed, even they wouldn't be able to stop Longao if he tried to snatch the starry sky godhoods by force. Why? Everyone was stunned. They didn't know why Longao suddenly became so tough. Was he not afraid of the star mysterious realm? The more Longao acted like this, the more uncertain Xing Kuan and the others felt because no one knew what Longao was relying on. Looking coldly at Longao, Xing Kuan and the others didn't want to waste any more time. They turned and left. In a short while, the 9 figures disappeared without a trace. "Brother Long, you are too reckless. Without Xing Kuan and the others' help, we will be in a passive position." Purple Thunder Ancestor and the others were worried. After all, Xing Kuan and the others were strong. Chapter 1815. Longao didn't seem to care. "It doesn't matter if we have more or less of them. It's fine if we continue to cooperate, but the problem now is that these people are getting out of hand. None of us can guarantee that Xing Kuan and the others won't stab us in the back." "That's reasonable." Funtian smiled. "Brother Purple Thunder, you think too much. With Ao-Er's strength and deterrence, we can protect ourselves. Why do we need to borrow their strength?" Seeing that Longao and the others had made up their minds, Purple Thunder could only nod in agreement. The surrounding mountain peaks were still moving. At first, they were a little curious and wary, but as time passed, they were used to it. Funtian Ancestor had already obtained a rank 4 starry sky godhead. As for Purple Thunder Ancestor, Yi Tianhua, Jian Tian, and Murong Guena, they all had rank 1 starry sky godheads. Among the 6, only Longao hadn't devoured a starry sky godhead. Without being able to comprehend the origin energy, the only way to break through to the starry sky realm was to devour a starry sky godhead. Helpless, depressed, Longao knew very well that if he couldn't comprehend the origin energy here, he wouldn't be able to do the same if he left the starry sky secret realm and returned to the sky martial continent. Who knew how long it would take to break through to the starry sky realm? Along the way, Funtian and the others had advised Longao many times, hoping that Longao could devour a rank 4 starry sky godhead. When Longao's cultivation broke through to the rank 4 starry sky realm, they would then look for a higher rank starry sky godhead. The result? Longao rejected all of them. If he wanted to devour a starry sky godhead, he would have done so before. Why wait until now? Boom. A loud explosion. Before anyone could react, a series of loud noises came from the surrounding mountain peak. One after another, the noises continued without end. What was going on? Volcanic eruption. All the surrounding mountains exploded, forming a huge hole. Countless flames suddenly spewed out from the hole. It was the Purple Thunder Ancestors' volcanic eruption. If it was an ordinary volcanic eruption, with everyone's strength, they could choose to ignore it. But now? The volcanoes around them were erupting. There was something wrong with the power of fire. Everyone could clearly feel that if they were to come into contact with the power of fire, they would definitely die. It was instantly reduced to ashes. Astral flame. On the other side, the five elements patriarch was shocked to the extreme. His face was filled with disbelief. Five elements patriarch, what is the starry sky fire? Everyone retreated. Although they didn't know what the starry sky fire was, they could sense the power of the volcanic eruption. The power of the five elements: metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. The vast starry sky also has the power of the five elements, but the power of the five elements in the vast starry sky is far superior to the ordinary power of the five elements. Unless one's cultivation has broken through the starry sky realm, no one can withstand the starry sky fire. So that was the case. Everyone was stunned. He didn't expect to run into a cosmic fire the moment he stepped into the secondary space. It was hard to imagine what dangers he would encounter as he moved forward. Everyone, be careful. This is the astral flame. Through Bai Ling's telepathic message, Longao had learned that the erupting volcanoes around them were the astral flame. Anyone who touched the astral flame under the starry sky would be killed for sure. It wasn't hard to imagine how horrifying the simultaneous eruption would be. Of the four cardinal directions, only the southeastern one didn't have an erupting volcano. Regardless of whether it was Xing Kun and the others, or Longao and the others, they could only head towards the southeast direction. Everyone's speed was extremely fast, almost soaring to the extreme. The continuous volcanoes covered such a large area that it seemed as if the entire space would be covered by them. Under such circumstances, speed was the only thing that mattered. Just a few minutes after the volcano erupted, countless monsters emerged from the craters of the volcanoes, their bodies emitting the power of flames. Let's go, everybody! Those monsters have the astral flame. We'll still be doomed if we touch them. Everyone was completely dumbfounded. The eruption of the volcano was already helpless enough. Now, countless flaming monsters had appeared. Moreover, the flames on their bodies were also the starry sky flames. The power of the five elements was metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Metal subdued wood, wood subdued earth, earth subdued water, water subdued fire, and fire subdued metal. Everybody had realized that water subdued fire. According to the five elements patriarch, that space was probably the space of the five elements. Now that the astral flame had appeared, the astral water, astral metal, astral wood, and astral earth would also appear. They might have a chance of survival if they reinforced and countered each other. However, the current situation was that only the starry sky flame had appeared. As for the other four forces of the starry sky, there was no sign of either of them. Where could they find the other four forces of the starry sky? Everybody was running as fast as they could, but the fiery monsters weren't slow at all. However, they knew very well that they would be caught up sooner or later if they kept going. Not to mention how powerful the flame creature was, the star fire on the flame creature's body was just too terrifying. Just the slightest touch would cause one to die without a burial ground. The astral water. Just when everyone was at their wits' end, a huge lake appeared in front of them. Among the five elements, the astral flame was too powerful. As for the astral water, it wouldn't take the initiative to attack. Everyone was pleasantly surprised. They didn't dare to hesitate and came to the huge lake with all their strength. Sure enough, all the fiery monsters stopped attacking and looked at them coldly. Perhaps they were afraid of the astral water, none of them dared to come close. The astral space of the five elements. At this moment, everyone was certain that the space they were in was the five elemental space. It possessed the five elemental forces of the starry sky. They were the metal elemental force, the wood elemental force, the water elemental force, the fire elemental force, and the earth elemental force. The others were very depressed and their faces were solemn. Only the five elements' old ancestor's face gradually revealed a pleasant surprise. As a cultivator of the five elements' power, he naturally hoped to be able to sense the five elements' power in the starry sky. If he could master the five elements' power in the starry sky, who among the crowd could resist him? How could the others not know what the five elements' old ancestor was thinking? However, this was his business and had nothing to do with them. Among so many people, only the five elements' old ancestor could cultivate the power of the five elements at the same time. It could be said that he was 1 in 10,000. Everyone, I want to try to sense the astral water element. P.S. Today's 5 chapters will be updated tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Chapter 1816. Go ahead. Envy, jealousy, and hatred. Once the five elements patriarch grasped the power of the five elements, he wouldn't need to break through to the starry sky realm to become invincible. It was easy to think about, but difficult to actually do. He didn't care about the five elements patriarch. If he wanted to grasp the power of the five elements, he would have to see if he had the ability. Longao was also very depressed. If Master God Diviner hadn't taken back the five elements Chaos Stone Steel, Yang Qi could have used it to unleash the five elements heaven-devouring incantation. He wasn't born with a five elements connate constitution. Ever since he'd obtained the tablet, Longao had been cultivating the five elements heaven-devouring mantra. No matter how hard he tried, he still couldn't grasp the key point. It was too late to say anything. Everyone, what should we do now? Longao walked to the side, keeping a distance from Xing Kuan and the others. Longao, what is the meaning of this? Xing Kuan and the others were enraged when they saw Longao, Purple Thunder, and the others retreat to the side. Even at this time, they were still trying to split up. Nothing. We've already parted ways. We don't want to drag you down, please. Longao's meaning was clear. Xing Kuan and the others' faces were as dark as they could get. Could it be that he had no choice but to beg Longao to continue to unite? Brother Long, do you have a way to deal with the power of the five elements? He nodded. Seeing Longao's nod, Purple Thunder and the others were overjoyed. The method is simple. As long as we can grasp the power of the five elements, we can leave this place with the help of their mutual restraint. Grasp the power of the five elements? When everyone heard Longao's idea, they were all very surprised. Even the five elements patriarch, who was born with a five elements connate constitution, might not be able to grasp the power of the five elements here. It was a joke. No one spoke, but Longao had already guessed what they were thinking. I've already sensed the space here. The space of the five elements is divided into 5 major plates. The metal element, wood element, water element, fire element, and earth element. So what? Everyone did not know what Longao meant by that. According to my guess, if nothing unexpected happens, the center of the 5 elemental space is the place where the 5 elemental energy is isolated. As long as we rush to the center, we will be fine for the time being. Longao could not sense it, but that did not mean that Xiling and Bai Ling could not sense it either. He did as he said. Of course, Zilei and the others believed in Longao. However, they did not head towards the center of the starry sky fire space. Instead, they headed towards the starry sky earth space. The entire space was very big, so it wouldn't be easy to rush to the center of the space from the starry sky earth elemental space. Longao has left? Let's follow them. Xing Kuan and the others were not fools. Of course, they knew that Longao would not sit still and wait for death. Thinking of this, everyone headed in the direction that Longao had left. Only the 5 elements patriarch did not leave. 5 elements patriarch, why don't you go? Many people were very puzzled. They did not know what the 5 elements patriarch meant. Did the 5 elements patriarch really want to master the 5 elemental energy? It was almost impossible, even if the five elements patriarch had the five elements innate body. Unless the five elements patriarch's cultivation could break through the starry sky realm. In that case, with the five elements patriarch's talent and the five elements innate body, he might be able to master the five elements elemental energy. You guys go. I have already touched the source of the starry sky water elemental energy. Next, I will try to touch the source of the starry sky fire elemental energy. When I completely touch the source of the five elements elemental energy, I believe that I can master the five elements elemental energy. Was it really possible? No one was willing to believe it. In any case, since the five elements patriarch did not want to leave, there was no need to face danger for the five elements patriarch. Go. The five elements patriarch stood up and headed towards the starry sky fire space. The five elements patriarch was full of confidence. Since he could touch the source of the starry sky water elemental energy, then he could definitely touch the source of the starry sky fire elemental energy. When he really touched the source of the starry sky fire elemental energy, he would truly master the starry sky fire elemental energy. Stepping into the starry sky fire space, before the five elements patriarch tried to touch the source of the starry sky fire elemental energy, he was surrounded by countless flame creatures. The five elements patriarch forgot a problem. The starry sky water elemental energy would not attack, but the starry sky fire elemental energy would not be polite. In less than a few minutes, the five elements patriarch's screams were heard in the starry sky fire space. Everyone who had left, including Longao, heard the screams and knew that the five elements patriarch was definitely done for. There was no chance. Everyone shook their heads helplessly. The five elements' old ancestor was too impatient. He thought that with his talent and physique, he could truly master the power of the five elements in the starry sky. However, he never expected that he would be swallowed up by the fire elemental power in the starry sky. His life essence would not even have the chance to enter the cycle of reincarnation. No one was sad about the five elements patriarch's death, because in their eyes, the five elements patriarch had asked for it. If he had left obediently, he would not have ended up like this. A total of 19 people had entered the starry sky secret realm. 5 of them had betrayed the starry sky fire elemental energy, which meant that only 14 people were left. That was because everyone had been united. Otherwise, it would have been a big problem if only 3 of the 19 people had survived in the starry sky fire elemental energy, let alone the second space. If it had been that easy, Tian Dao and Long Batian would not have been the only ones who had successfully passed the test in the starry sky secret realm. Back then, they had not been united at all. That was enough to prove Tian Dao and Long Batian's talent and strength. Everyone left one after another, heading in the most important direction. The 14 people moved very quickly. After all, Longao was the one in charge in this situation. Everyone had already stepped into the starry sky Earth space. Among the 5 elemental forces of the starry sky, only the starry sky fire elemental force would attack. The other 4 forces of the starry sky would not take the initiative to attack. Because of this, when everyone stepped into the starry sky Earth space, they did not have the slightest vigilance. Instead, they moved faster and faster, as if they wanted to reach the center of the space in one step. Wait, Brother Long, what's wrong? The Purple Thunder Patriarch and the others were surprised to see Longao stop all of a sudden, wondering why Longao had stopped. Chapter 1817. Longao's face was very solemn. Under normal circumstances, there shouldn't be any danger in the Earth elemental space. However, his intuition told him that this place wasn't simple. It's better to be safe than sorry. Everyone, be careful. I don't know why, but I feel that something is wrong here. No one doubted Longao's words. Could it be that this place was really dangerous? Seeing that Longao and the others had suddenly stopped, Xing Kuan and the others who had followed them also stopped. However, the distance between them was very far. The surroundings were very calm. There wasn't the slightest abnormality, but no one dared to relax. "You can sense my presence?" At this moment, a cold voice suddenly came from all directions, faintly discernible. "Senior, please show yourself." As soon as Long Ao's voice fell, there was a breeze and a figure appeared in front of everyone. A starry sky cultivator. The middle-aged man exuded a powerful starry sky aura. That was why Long Ao and the others were shocked and a little helpless. Just as expected, the second space was far superior to the first space. The first space wasn't full of starry sky cultivators, while the second space should be full of starry sky cultivators. "How should I address you, Senior?" The middle-aged man said indifferently. "I'm Mo Wudao. What's your name?" "I'm Long Ao." Mo Wudao was a second-level starry sky cultivator. However, for Long Ao and the others, it didn't matter if he was a first-level starry sky cultivator or a second-level starry sky cultivator. "You've stepped into the Earth elemental space. According to the rules, I have to deal with you. However, since you're not bad, I'll give you a chance. Whether you live or die, it's up to you." Everyone was extremely depressed. It was simply a fool's dream to fight against a second-level starry sky cultivator. "Thank you, Senior." "Thank you?" Hearing that Long Ao actually thanked Mo Wudao, Xing Kuan and the others were already cursing in their hearts. However, no one dared to say a word under such circumstances. "All of you can start attacking the Earth elemental space barrier I've set up. No matter who it is, as long as you can break it, you pass. If they could break it, they could leave safely. If they couldn't break it, everyone would die here." Was this a fair opportunity? It was simply unfair, but even so, no one dared to say anything. Mo Wudao made a grabbing motion, and not far away, a black and yellow chi barrier appeared. It was the Earth chi barrier that he had set up. Everyone was exchanging glances with each other. The people here were all Nirvana realm martial artists. How could they break the chi shield set up by a starry sky cultivator? Was that even possible? But at this moment, Mo Wudao said, "All of you can attack together. No matter what method you use, as long as you can break the chi barrier, you can leave." While they were cursing in their hearts, there was nothing they could do. No one was willing to die here. The 14 of them all came to a place not far away from the chi barrier. They stopped about 10 meters away and attacked with all their might. No one wanted to waste any more time. There was no sound at all. The air shield didn't even budge, as if it was made of cotton. He wasn't surprised at all. It would be strange if the star air barrier could be broken so easily. "Senior, this is almost impossible. With our strength, how could we possibly break through this barrier?" "You can't break it, but that doesn't mean others can't." After being given the cold shoulder, Long Tian didn't say anything else. Everyone looked at Long Ao. Their meaning was clear. Now that Long Ao had broken through to the Nirvana realm, if he used all his killing moves, even Xing Kuan wouldn't be a match for Long Ao. Ever since they entered the Star Secret Realm, Long Ao had brought them endless surprises. Maybe Long Ao could break through the Star Air Barrier. For himself, and for the others, Long Ao was prepared to give it a try. "Senior Mo, I want to try it alone." Mo Wudao seemed to have a good impression of Long Ao. He nodded with a smile and said, "You're not bad. If you can break through the Star Air Barrier alone, I can give you 3 second-grade Star Sky Godheads and 1 second-grade Star Sky Godhead." Star Sky martial techniques, no matter what grade they were useless to them. Because of this, Mo Wudao didn't mention any Star Sky martial technique. 3 second-grade Star Sky Godheads and 1 second-grade Star Sky Godhead were already very good. Xing Kuan and the others were envious and jealous. Why was Long Ao's luck so good every time? 3 second-grade Star Sky Godheads and 1 second-grade Star Sky Godhead. "Many thanks, Senior." Looking at the Star Air Barrier in front of him, Long Ao took a deep breath. Suddenly, Longao's body moved. Both of his palms moved simultaneously, and countless palm shadows ruthlessly struck the star-air barrier in front of him. Star-sky martial technique, annihilation palm. However, with Longao's current cultivation, it was impossible for him to display the true power of the annihilation palm. Even so, it didn't shake the star-air barrier at all. Now, Longao alone was able to shake the star-air barrier. At the side, Mo Wu Dao seemed to be a little surprised, and the praise on his face intensified. Longao, with your current strength, even if you use a star-sky martial technique, you won't be able to break through the star-air barrier. I understand. How could Longao not know that if the starry sky chi cover could be broken so easily, everyone would have broken it a long time ago? There was no need to wait until now. He had used the absolute extermination palm just now mainly to test the starry sky chi cover. The next attack was the most important one. Xiling, Bailing, I want to use the fourth form of reincarnation. The fourth form of reincarnation, 10,000 feet reincarnation rainbow. As the fourth form of the 36 forms of reincarnation, this form could be said to be a bridge between the previous and the next. Because as long as Longao's cultivation broke through the peak of nirvana rebirth and took half a step into the starry sky realm, he would be able to use this form as he pleased. At that time, under the starry sky, Longao would be able to achieve a true instant kill. If it was a battle, Longao definitely wouldn't use this form casually. Because if he forcefully borrowed the strength of two people, the backlash would be too great. He couldn't possibly implicate Bai Ling again and again. He believed that it would be more than enough to break through the star-air barrier. How could Xiling and Bai Ling not know what Longao meant? Bai Ling's voice sounded. Brother Long, my sister and I have swallowed the Jianling spring and our cultivation has recovered to the starry sky realm. We can lend you our strength now, but it's still not enough for you to fight. Wait until our strength increases a little more, then we can. I understand. Then, two very weak streams of starry sky chi entered his body. Without any hesitation, Longao directly used the fourth form of reincarnation, 10,000 feet reincarnation rainbow. Chapter 1818. Reincarnation Fourth Form, Reincarnation Rainbow. Longao did not use the reincarnation sword, but used his finger instead. Terrifying sword chi revolved around his finger, and in the next second, Longao used his finger as a sword and shot out. Swoosh. Before anyone could react, including Mo Wu Dao's expression changed. The chi barrier had been broken into pieces by the sword chi. Broken? Xing Kuan and the rest swallowed their saliva. Until now, no one could figure out how Longao did it. The chi barrier could only be broken by starry sky cultivators. A nirvana rebirth cultivator could break the chi barrier set up by a starry sky cultivator? Unbelievable. Unimaginable. Mo Wu Dao was also a little dumbfounded, but he quickly recovered and said with a smile, "You're really not bad. Looks like the starry sky martial technique you used just now is above a grade 9 starry sky martial technique." Hearing Mo Wu Dao's words, Xing Kuan and the rest were envious to the extreme. Starry sky martial techniques were also divided into different grades. There were 9 grades of starry sky martial techniques, and above them were domain lord martial techniques, and finally domain lord martial technique. Longao's starry sky martial technique was above a grade 9 starry sky martial technique. Didn't that mean that Longao's starry sky martial technique was at least a domain lord martial technique? Longao smiled, but did not say anything. Longao, here are 2 grade 2 starry sky godheads and a grade 2 starry sky god tool. You can leave now. Longao did not stand on ceremony. Although he did not need the starry sky godhead, it did not mean that his family did not need it. The more starry sky godheads they could get, the better. Many thanks, Senior. Mo Wu Dao smiled and turned to leave. So simple? Long Ao was a little surprised, but since they were out of danger, Long Ao and the rest did not stay any longer. Instead, they quickly flew away. Long Ao cannot be left alive. How could the others not know what Long Tian meant? Brother Long is right. In a moment all of us will attack together. No matter what happens, we must kill Long Ao. Don't let the tiger return to the mountain, leaving behind a future threat. Have you thought about it? With Long Ao's current strength, if we fail, we will be in big trouble. If they were outside, he wouldn't be worried at all. Only here. Su Tian knew very well that Long Ao's strength was no longer the same as before. If they failed to kill him, Long Ao would definitely seek revenge. When that time came, they would have to deal with the dangers of the Star's secret realm and the Long Ao's pursuit. If he missed, there would be endless trouble in the future. We can't care about that anymore. Long Ao must die. In the beginning, no one took Long Ao seriously. Both Xing Kuan and Wanshou Ancestor had already decided not to deal with Long Ao in the Star's secret realm. They would only do so after they left. But now, he didn't continue speaking because everyone had reached a consensus. As long as there was a chance, no matter what happened, they had to kill Long Ao. All the way forward, after an hour of running, everyone came to the center of the 5 elements space in the Star Secret Realm. It was a small island surrounded by water. Only at this moment did Long Ao truly heave a sigh of relief. Brother Long, you have to be careful. Xing Kuan and the others seemed to be a little strange. He nodded. Long Ao had already guessed that after this, Xing Kuan and the others would definitely be very wary of him. They would think that if they didn't remove the roots, they would definitely grow again. If they dare to make a move, I won't be polite and will kill them all. If Long Ao had said this before, Zilei would definitely not have believed it. After all, Xing Kuan and the others' strength was there for all to see. Not to mention Long Ao alone, even if they worked together, it would still be impossible. But now, the situation had been completely reversed. In just 1 month, Long Ao's cultivation had soared and directly reached the Nirvana Rebirth realm. If it was an ordinary Nirvana Rebirth realm martial artist, Xing Kuan and the others wouldn't care at all. Xing Kuan was known as the strongest under the Star's secret realm, and his strength was not to be underestimated. However, Long Ao's situation was completely different. If he used all his trump cards, no one under the Star's secret realm would be able to defeat Long Ao. Long Ao's shocking sword move alone could even kill the Evil Eye Dragon, not to mention a Nirvana realm martial artist. After all, Xing Kuan and the others were scared. With Long Ao's talent and potential, no one knew how long it would take Long Ao to break through to the Star's secret realm. Brother Long, we'd better be careful. Brother Zilei, I understand. He didn't put Xing Kuan and the others in his eyes at all. The height he stood at was different, and the way he looked at things was different. Bai Ling, Xiling, can you sense how we should get out of here? Brother Long, my sister and I have already sensed that the secondary space is very large. The 5 elements space you've entered is just one of many spaces, just like the primary space. I see. They didn't know how many spaces they'd changed in the primary space. The dangers they'd encountered were endless. They believed that the situation in the secondary space was similar to that in the primary space. As for the channel, my sister and I speculate that the channel to leave the 5 elements space should be right under your feet. Huh? Long Ao was very surprised. It seemed that he had worn out his iron shoes in a fruitless search and found it without any effort. The passageway that he had painstakingly searched for was actually right under his feet. If not for Zi-Ling and Bai Ling sensing, it would have been really troublesome for him to find the passageway. Long Ao already knew that the space he was in would constantly change in the primary space. As for the secondary space, it was completely different. He had to find the channel himself if he wanted to leave. Bai Ling, Can you sense the specific location of the channel? Yes, but I'll need an hour. Longao cut off contact with Bai Ling and Xiling. Brother Long, are we going to keep waiting like this? Zilei and the others were quite helpless. Although they had left the 5-element space, they were still in the 5-element space. The dangers wouldn't disappear as long as they didn't leave. God knew if they would die there if things went on like this. Brother Zilei, don't worry. My wife is helping us sense the specific location of the channel. This time, we'll leave alone. As for Xing Kun and the others, they'll have to fend for themselves. There was no objection. Things had already progressed to this stage. If Xing Kun and the others continued to follow them, not only would they not be of any help, but they would also bring a lot of trouble. If Xing Kun and the others launched a sneak attack, they would not be able to bear the responsibility. Chapter 18-19. Everyone had their own ulterior motives. Without full confidence, Xing Kun and the others did not dare to make a move casually. If the enemy did not move, they would not move. Xing Kun and the others did not know what Longao wanted to do, so they could only wait and see. Time went by bit by bit. About 2 hours later. Brother Long, we have sensed the specific location of the passage. Hearing Bai Ling's message, Longao was overjoyed. According to Bai Ling's specific location, Longao led the 5 people to a place not far away, pretending as if nothing had happened. Ao, have you found anything? Master, I have found the passage out of here, but I want Xing Kun and the others to stay. Everyone was overjoyed. No one objected to Longao's decision. No one cared about the life and death of Xing Kun and the others. As for Xing Kun and the others, no one was a fool. Seeing the actions of Longao and the others, Xing Kun and the others already knew that things were not good. Just in case, everyone slowly approached Longao and the others. Let's go. They had been discovered. Longao knew very well that if they continued like this, they would not be able to leave smoothly. Using his finger as a sword, he swung his sword backward. Several reincarnation sword chi came out one after another. Xing Kun and the others had already seen the power of Proud Dragon's sword chi, so they did not dare to fight head-on. When Xing Kun and the others were not paying attention, Longao took the 5 people and disappeared in an instant. The sword chi disappeared. Where are they? Looking at the empty front, Xing Kun and the others were a little dumbfounded because they had guessed that Longao and the others had found the exit, but deliberately attacked them and chose to leave. Longao, I will tear you into pieces. Anger, endless anger. How did Longao find the passage? No one knew. They came to the place where Longao left and looked around carefully, but still could not find any clues. Longao and the others seemed to have disappeared into thin air. Xing Kun, what should we do now? Everyone's expression was very solemn. For a moment, they didn't know what to do. Unknowingly, everyone had already treated Xing Kun as their leader. The reason was very simple. Among them, Xing Kun's strength was the strongest. I think I already know how Longao and the others left. Hearing Xing Kun's words, everyone was overjoyed. Next, everyone began to prepare, with Xing Kun taking the lead to leave this place. Light enveloped the area. Before Longao and the others could react, they had already appeared in another space. Longao wasn't surprised at all. He already knew that the secondary space was similar to the primary space. The only difference was that he didn't have to find an exit in the primary space. He would be automatically teleported away, while he had to find an exit in the secondary space. Brother Long, how do we find the exit? Longao had already told them the secrets of the secondary space. Everybody knew that they had to find an exit as soon as possible if they wanted to leave. We still don't know what kind of space this is, so we must be careful. Before the others could speak, Longao continued, we were teleported too quickly, and my aura is still there. If nothing unexpected happens, It won't take long for Xing Kuan and the others to be teleported here. Longao's meaning was very clear. The current situation was completely different from before. Although the two sides hadn't openly fallen out with each other, once they met, they would definitely fight. Although they weren't afraid of Xing Kuan and the others, it wouldn't be good for them to start a fight under such circumstances. The five nodded in agreement. Just like that, the six of them continued to move forward. They would first find out what kind of space this was and then look for an exit. 3 Cosmos Divine Spark. While they were hurrying on, they suddenly noticed 3 glittering Cosmos Divine Sparks in a bush not far away. After a brief inspection, they knew that the 3 Cosmos Divine Sparks were all second-level Cosmos Divine Spark. Brother Long, the 3 second-level Cosmos Divine Sparks are yours. Purple Thunder Patriarch, Burning Sky Patriarch, Sword Patriarch, Murong Guina and Yi Tianhua all chose to give up on fighting for the Cosmos Divine Sparks. The reason was simple. Previously, Longao had given them all the Cosmos Divine Sparks he had obtained. Courtesy demands reciprocity. If they continued to fight for the Cosmos Divine Sparks, it wouldn't be kind. Longao didn't hold back. He walked over and grabbed the 3 Cosmos Divine Sparks from the ground. Counting the number of Cosmos Divine Sparks he had, Longao was pleasantly surprised to find that he now had 6 Cosmos Divine Sparks. Among them, there was 1 4th-level Cosmos Divine Sparks, and 5 2nd-level Cosmos Divine Sparks. Longao put down the Cosmos Divine Spark. With a furious roar, Xing Kuan and the others were already rushing over. If it were in the past, they might have been wary of Huang Xiaolong because of the big picture. But now, since the other side wanted to kill them, there was no need for them to be apprehensive. Kill, snatch the Cosmos Divine Sparks. Xing Kuan and the others were greedy to the extreme because Longao had snatched away the Cosmos Divine Sparks again and again. Until now, among all of them, only 2 people had managed to obtain a Cosmos Divine Spark. If this continued, it would be too late by the time Longao and the others refined the Cosmos Divine Sparks and broke through to the Starry Sky realm. Longao had already guessed this. Putting away the 3 second-level Cosmos Divine Sparks, Longao and Xing Kuan immediately engaged in a fierce battle. 6 against 8, Longao and Xing Kuan clashed. Xing Kuan used his Annihilation Palm, his innate ability and his sure kill time technique. Even if Xing Kuan was hailed as the strongest expert under the Starry Sky realm, he couldn't kill Longao at this time. However, this fully illustrated the strength of the Starry Sky realm. Otherwise, if it were an ordinary person, they wouldn't be able to withstand Longao's attack. The 2 of them fiercely clashed their palms and separated from each other. Everyone else had also separated from each other. It could be considered a draw. Everyone was very clear in their hearts that if this battle continued, there would be no other result other than both sides suffering. Longao, hand over the Cosmos Divine Sparks, and we can put aside the grudge between us for the time being. Otherwise, don't blame us for being ruthless. Even if we can't leave, we will kill you. Thinking about how they almost died in the Starry Sky 5-element space, everyone felt a deep anger in their hearts. They couldn't wait to tear Longao into pieces. Unexpectedly, they had used underhanded means. Longao smiled with an indifferent expression and said with a smile, "You guys are really brainless. Why should I give you the Cosmos Divine Sparks I obtained? Lose-lose situation? Do you have the strength to do so? Why don't we give it a try and see if it's a lose-lose situation? If we lose, not to mention the 3 second-level Cosmos Divine Sparks, I can even give you the 4th-level Cosmos Divine Sparks in my hands. P.S. I only found out this morning that I missed a chapter last night. I'm really sorry. I'll quickly make up for last night's chapter. Happy Dragon Boat Festival, everyone." Chapter 1820. Contempt. It was a blatant disdain. The more Long Ao acted like this, the less confident Xing Kun and the rest felt. All right, Long Ao, I hope you won't try to snatch the starry sky godhead next time. Otherwise, Xing Kun didn't continue speaking, but the meaning behind his words was clear. The two sides separated again. This time, Xing Kun and the rest were clearly afraid. They had no choice but to retreat. After successfully obtaining the starry sky godhead, Long Ao and the rest didn't relax at all. No one knew what kind of dangers existed in this space. With the previous example, no one would be careless. Senior Mo, why are you here? Long Ao and the rest were about to move forward when they saw Mo Wu Dao. Everyone was shocked. Long Ao, we are fated. I can tell you a secret. Senior, please tell me. Long Ao was very curious. He didn't know what secret Mo Wu Dao wanted to tell him. Could it be the secret of the starry sky secret realm? There is a 10,000-year ice cicada in this space. If you can devour it, you will be half a step into the starry sky realm. Everyone was shocked. This is the location of the 10,000-year ice cicada. Be careful. Before Long Ao could thank him, Mo Wu Dao had already disappeared. Long Ao, give it to me. The temptation of the 10,000-year ice cicada was too great. It was even more tempting than the starry sky godhead. Mo Wu Dao had just said that if one could devour the 10,000-year ice cicada, it would be half a step into the starry sky realm. What did this mean? Even Xing Kun had only reached the peak of the Nirvana rebirth realm. He was still a step away from the so-called half a step into the starry sky realm. No one was willing to give up such an opportunity. Using his finger as a sword, he slashed back, courting death. In terms of arrogance, no one was a match for Long Ao. Without waiting for Xing Kun and the rest to make a move, Long Ao took the lead and killed his way out. The 36 forms of reincarnation swam among the group. Pooh! Long Di Tian spat out a mouthful of blood as he ran. If not for Long Tian's timely intervention, Long Di Tian would have already died. This was Long Ao's strength. Even when surrounded by 8 people, he was still able to heavily injure Long Di Tian. Shock. Everyone was slightly dumbstruck because they'd already guessed that along with Long Ao's cultivation breaking through to the rebirth realm, his strength would surely rise explosively. But even then, they'd never imagined that Long Ao's strength was actually formidable to such an extent. Unbelievable. One must know one's limits. Long Ao turned and left, leaving behind a gloomy Xing Kun and the others. Not far away, Mo Wu Dao and Long Baishan's figures slowly appeared. Mo Wu Dao's face was grave as he said helplessly, "My lord, if Master Godly Diviner finds out about this, both of us will be in trouble." Mo Wu Dao didn't know why Lord Long wanted to help Long Ao. Although he had a good impression of Long Ao, he didn't want to offend Master God Diviner for the sake of Long Ao. The God Diviner isn't in the Martial Heaven continent right now. Long Ao is my junior. Remember, you have to do your best to help him. So that was the case. Yes, sir. A 9th-level cultivator was such a powerful existence. How could a mere 2nd-level cultivator like him compare to him? From start to finish, Long Ao didn't know that Mo Wu Dao's sudden appearance was because of Long Batian. According to the location Mo Wu Dao had given him, Long Ao already knew that there were powerful indigenous races living around the 10,000-year ice cicada. As for what race they were, he didn't know. The temptation of the 10,000-year ice cicada was too great. Even Long Ao couldn't resist it. Half a step into the starry sky realm, coupled with the 4th move of reincarnation, the 10,000-foot reincarnation rainbow, who would be his match under the starry sky? As for using the 10,000-foot reincarnation rainbow to kill the evil eye demon dragon, it was still an advantage. Under normal circumstances, unless one's cultivation base broke through to the starry sky realm, it was impossible to kill a starry sky cultivator. Xing Kun and the others were shameless to the extreme. Since you won't give me your location, I'll keep following you. In this kind of situation, there was no way to shake them off. In a huge valley. Brother Long, are we really going in? Before entering the valley, everyone could already feel the terrifying aura in the valley. The entire valley was like a valley carved out of ice, emitting a bone-chilling fiery ice. Big Brother Purple Thunder, I know you won't fight with me for the 10,000-year ice cicada, so this time I'm going in alone. No, we're not afraid of death. How can we let you take the risk alone? Whether it was Purple Thunder Ancestor, Burning Sky Ancestor, or Murong Guenao and Jian Tian, they had all decided not to fight with Longao for the 10,000-year ice cicada. Even if Longao obtained the 10,000-year ice cicada and entered the Starry Sky realm, it would only be beneficial for them. There was no harm. Big Brother Purple Thunder, listen to me. You guys stay here. If anything happens, you can help me. Once we all enter the valley and encounter danger, there will be no way out. Everyone sighed deeply in their hearts, because they all knew Longao's character very well. Once he decided on something, he would not change his mind. Since that was the case, there was no point in talking more. They could only wait and see if Longao would encounter any danger after entering the valley. Brother Long, be careful. Nodding his head, Longao did not hesitate at all. With a spatial teleportation, his body had already disappeared from his original spot. With the spatial teleportation, he was actually full of confidence. Even if he encountered danger that he could not defeat, he could use the spatial teleportation to leave. If Zilei and the others also came, there might be trouble. Xing Kuan and the others who came later saw Longao enter the valley, but they stopped abruptly. They did not believe that the 10,000-year ice cicada was so easy to obtain. If that was the case, why didn't Purple Thunder and the others enter? There must be something fishy. Purple Thunder, why didn't you enter the valley? He wanted to get some information from Purple Thunder, but would he succeed? He did not know if Xing Kuan and the others were too naive. Purple Thunder Ancestor sneered and said sarcastically, "What does it have to do with you whether I enter the valley or not? Xing Kuan, if you want to obtain the 10,000-year ice cicada, you have to try yourself. Don't dawdle here." He did not continue speaking, but the expression on Purple Thunder and the others' faces said everything. Because in Purple Thunder Ancestor's eyes, even if Xing Kuan and the others were given 10,000 times more courage, they would never dare to enter the valley. Humph! With a cold snort, Xing Kuan and Punishment directly headed towards the valley without saying a word. Soon, the two figures had disappeared from the valley. As for the myriad beasts' ancestor and the others, they did not dare to enter. It was not worth taking the risk for a 10,000-year ice cicada. Chapter 1821. In the valley. It was snow-white everywhere, like an ice valley. Longao, who had just stepped in, couldn't help but shiver even with his strength. Trespassers of the Ice Spirit Clan will be killed without mercy. The Ice Spirit Clan? Longao finally knew that the clan guarding the 10,000-year ice cicada was the so-called Ice Spirit Clan. The four people who appeared at the same time rushed toward Longao. Before they arrived, their cold attacks had already reached him. He didn't dare to be careless. Longao wasn't afraid of the experts who had comprehended the world, but of the entire Ice Spirit Clan behind them. No one knew if there were any Starry Sky cultivators in the Ice Spirit Clan. What if there were? Longao knew that no one in the Starry Sky could kill him. Longao didn't kill them because he came here to find the 10,000-year ice cicada, not to kill the Ice Spirit Clan. Using his finger as a sword, the reincarnation sword Chi was released. The four people came quickly and left even faster. The four people were shocked. They had never expected that the people who suddenly trespassed in the Ice Valley would be so strong. The Ice Valley hasn't had guests for a long time. Welcome. Seeing the three people who suddenly appeared, the four people bowed respectfully and said, "Greetings, Patriarch and Elder." Starry sky cultivators? Longao was surprised because the three people in front of him were starry sky cultivators. One was a second-level starry sky cultivator, and the other two were first-level starry sky cultivators. I'm Longao. I didn't mean to offend you. The middle-aged man smiled and said, I'm Bingchen, patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan. These two are elders of the Ice Spirit clan, Bingri and Bingyu. What a powerful clan! They had 3 starry sky cultivators. If they were in the Qianwu continent, they could do whatever they wanted. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't afraid. Longao, if you have something to say, just say it. Since the other party had guessed it, Longao didn't intend to hide it. Patriarch Bingchen, to be honest, a senior told me to come here to find the 10,000-year ice cicada. I hope senior can help me. How dare you? Courting death. Hearing Longao's words, the 2 elders' faces instantly changed. They were incomparably furious. Bingchen didn't get angry. Instead, he asked calmly, Longao, do you know what the 10,000-year ice cicada is? I don't know. Senior, please tell me. Of course, Longao didn't know. He only knew that once he devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada, his cultivation would take a step forward and he would be halfway into the starry sky realm. Longao, the 10,000-year ice cicada, is the divine guardian beast of the Ice Spirit clan. If you want to snatch the 10,000-year ice cicada, you will become the enemy of the Ice Spirit clan. Huh? Longao was shocked. He had never imagined that the origin of the 10,000-year ice cicada would be so terrifying. The divine guardian beast of the Ice Spirit clan. Longao was almost certain that it was almost impossible for him to find the 10,000-year ice cicada, or even devour it. Would the Ice Spirit clan agree to snatch the 10,000-year ice cicada? Patriarch, since this man is up to no good, let's kill him directly. Longao was ready to leave at any time. Not to mention the 3 starry sky cultivators. Even if any one of the 3 came out, it was not an existence that he could deal with. Killing the evil eye demon dragon was just an accident. Even if he forcibly used the lofty reincarnation rainbow and relied on the power of Xiling and Bailing, he was still no match for the 3 of them. Moreover, Bingchen, the patriarch of the Ice Spirit clan, was a second-level starry sky cultivator. How could he deal with them? Bingchen nodded. His meaning was clear. He wanted to kill. Bingri and Bingyu sneered. In their eyes, the opponent was just a small Nirvana realm warrior. They could kill him with a flick of their fingers. The power of the starry sky instantly enveloped him. What was the result? Longao had already slashed out with the Samsara sword in his hand. The Samsara sword chi directly broke the starry sky force shield. Before the 3 of them could react, Longao had already disappeared with the help of space teleportation. Humph, what a special kid. I want to capture him alive. Yes, Patriarch. Bingri and Bingyu also sneered. It was like a cat catching a mouse. The 3 of them looked relaxed. As long as the opponent did not leave the ice valley, it would be like catching a turtle in a jar. The opponent could not escape at all. After 3 space teleportations, Longao had already appeared in the depths of the ice valley. Until now, he still had some lingering fear. If he did not have space teleportation, he believed that he would have died by now. In the valley, Xing Kun and Bingyu, who had just stepped into the valley, had already sensed the terrifying suppression of the starry sky force. They were not fools. If there was no accident, there must be a starry sky cultivator in the ice valley. Whether it was Xing Kun or Xing Kun, the 2 of them were extremely shocked and did not dare to continue. Although they were reluctant to give up the 10,000-year ice cicada, in front of their lives, everything was fleeting clouds. Great Ancestor, what should we do now? Retreat? Great Ancestor, if we retreat, wouldn't we be benefiting Longao for nothing? Xing Kun was still a little unwilling because he had heard Mo Wu Dao's words. No matter who obtained the 10,000-year ice cicada, they would be half a step into the starry sky realm. This also meant that devouring the 10,000-year ice cicada would make one an invincible existence in the starry sky realm. Who would be able to resist such a temptation? Xing Kuan shook his head helplessly and said, "Although the 10,000-year ice cicada is precious, with our strength, we cannot compete with a starry sky cultivator. According to my guess, the starry sky cultivator in the Ice Valley is dealing with Longao." After thinking for a while, Xing Kuan continued, "I don't believe that Longao can snatch the 10,000-year ice cicada from the hands of a starry sky cultivator. If we can't get the 10,000-year ice cicada, Longao can forget about it. If we can take advantage of this opportunity to deal with Longao, it can be considered a blessing in disguise." Was it really possible? If it was anyone else, Xing Kuan would definitely think that the other party would die without a doubt because everyone in the starry sky realm was an ant. Even Xing Kuan, who was known as the #1 expert, could forget about leaving alive if he encountered a starry sky cultivator. Only Longao, a person who had created too many miracles, especially when they encountered the evil-eye demon dragon. Everyone thought that they would die without a doubt, and only Longao fought against the evil-eye demon dragon and killed it in the end. If they didn't see the result, who would be willing to believe it? This was Longao. However, things had already reached this stage. Even if Xing Kuan didn't want to believe it, he still hoped that Longao would die in the Ice Valley. Just like that, the two people who had just stepped into the Ice Valley had already chosen to leave when they sensed the terrifying starry sky realm suppression. In front of a life-threatening situation, no one was willing to continue. P.S. During the Dragon Boat Festival, I accompanied my wife to watch a movie, go shopping, and eat. Little Nine didn't go back on his words, please forgive me. Chapter 1822. Although the two had left the Ice Valley, Longao could not. He could only enter but not leave. It would be a lie to say that he was not afraid of being hunted by 3 starry sky cultivators. "Brother Long, do you need our help?" Bai Ling and Xiling did not attack casually because they knew Longao's character very well. "Don't do anything. I will call for you when I can't handle it." "Brother Long, you must be careful. Don't worry." Of course, Longao did not want to see Xiling and Bai Ling take risk. Although the two had recovered to the starry sky realm, they were only level 1 starry sky cultivators. They might be able to fight a level 1 starry sky cultivator. But what about a level 2 starry sky cultivator? This was the Ice Valley, the territory of the Ice Spirit clan. Before he had full confidence, Longao would definitely not let the two of them casually take the risk. How should he deal with it? "Xiling, Bai Ling, help me sense the location of the 10,000-year ice cicada." This time, he came mainly for the 10,000-year ice cicada. Longao knew very well that if he could find the 10,000-year ice cicada and devour it to enter the starry sky realm, this risk would be worth it. "We have sensed the location of the 10,000-year ice cicada." Hearing Xiling's words, Longao was overjoyed. Where is it? If he could successfully snatch the 10,000-year ice cicada and use space teleportation to leave the Ice Valley, even the 3 starry sky cultivators of the Ice Spirit clan would not be able to stop him. Without space teleportation, Longao would not rashly step into the Ice Valley. "Bai Ling, what's wrong?" Seeing Bai Ling remain silent, Longao's heart skipped a beat. Was there something fishy? "Brother Long, the 10,000-year ice cicada is a level 1 starry sky mythical beast. Even if my sister and I join forces, we may not be able to trap it." Longao had already guessed that the 10,000-year ice cicada was a starry sky mythical beast. However, what shocked him was that even if Xiling and Bai Ling joined forces, they were still unable to kill the 10,000-year ice cicada. Could it be that the strength of the 10,000-year ice cicada was really that powerful? He seemed to be able to guess what Longao was thinking. Big Brother Long, the 10,000-year ice cicada, does not have the slightest bit of attacking power. No matter who it is, they can attack and kill it. Huh? Hearing Bai Ling's words, Longao was completely confused. What was the meaning of this? Since the 10,000-year ice cicada did not have the slightest bit of offensive power, why was it that even Xiling and Bai Ling together could not trap the 10,000-year ice cicada? Could it be because of the 10,000-year ice cicada's speed? Bai Ling, could it be that even you and I are unable to deal with the speed of the 10,000-year ice cicada? Perhaps Xiling and Bai Ling were not proficient in speed, but Longao was extremely confident in his spatial teleportation, especially after his cultivation had broken through to the Nirvana rebirth realm. Longao, you have underestimated the speed of the 10,000-year ice cicada. If we were at the same level, you might be able to trap the 10,000-year ice cicada with your spatial teleportation. But now we have no chance at all. Longao did not doubt Xiling and Bai Ling's words. It seemed that the 10,000-year ice cicada's speed was truly terrifying. If that was the case, wouldn't it be a waste for him to step into the ice valley this time? There was a deep sense of helplessness in his heart. Was he going to give up just like that? He was unwilling. There were countless unwillingness in his heart. After thinking about it, Longao was still prepared to give it a try. Even if he failed in the end, at least his unwillingness would be reduced. At the very least, he had to be worthy of himself. Big Brother Long, I know that you won't give up easily, so I want to tell you that according to my sister and my understanding of the 10,000-year ice cicada, although its speed is terrifying, it has a fatal flaw. Fatal flaw? The 10,000-year ice cicada was born with the innate spiritual ice body. If you want to restrain it, there is only one way, and that is, Bai Ling, that's enough. Longao can't possibly have the power of the innate spiritual fire. Sister, please help him. Bai Ling had a pleading look on her face. Could it be that Xiling had a way to deal with the 10,000-year ice cicada? With a deep sigh, Xiling said helplessly, Longao, other than the method that Bai Ling mentioned, there is another way. Please tell me. Longao was also a little impatient because he had already formed a grudge with the Ice Spirit clan. If there were no accidents, the 3 Starry Sky cultivators of the Ice Spirit clan would be trying their best to find him. He had to find the 10,000-year ice cicada as quickly as possible and then leave the ice valley. This method is neither difficult nor easy. If you want to kill the 10,000-year ice cicada, you have to find a way to lock onto it. Longao, your ultimate time technique, is the nemesis of the 10,000-year ice cicada. Longao's body dashed out directly because he already knew that Xiling had already known about it. Xiling had already thought of a way and was just teasing him. Just as Xiling had said, his ultimate time technique was the nemesis of the 10,000-year ice cicada. This alone was enough. Outside the ice valley, the people who had been guarding outside the valley suddenly saw Xing Kuan and Xing Kuan dashing out. Everyone was a little curious. They didn't know why the two of them had come out less than 10 minutes after entering the ice valley. Could it be that there was danger in the valley? Brother Xing Kuan, what happened in the valley? Why did you come out so quickly? The 10,000 Beasts ancestor was the first person who couldn't help but ask. Not only him, but everyone else also couldn't help but ask because of Xing Kuan's powerful strength. Among the crowd, only the 10,000 Beasts ancestor's strength was infinitely close to Xing Kuan's. Both of them were known as the strongest under the starry sky. Although everyone thought that Xing Kuan's strength was far above the 10,000 Beasts ancestors, the two of them had never really fought. No one really knew who was stronger and who was weaker. If the patriarch of the Phoenix clan, Lu Yi, was here, then the 10,000 Beasts ancestor basically couldn't be the strongest under the starry sky because Lu Ye's strength was far above the 10,000 Beasts ancestors. There are 3 starry sky cultivators in the Ice Valley. With this simple sentence, Both Xingquan and Xingquan walked to the side and sat down. The two of them didn't leave because they wanted to see if Longao could come out alive. In fact, in their hearts, they still didn't quite believe that Longao could come out alive under the joint attack of 3 starry sky cultivators. Hearing Xingquan's words, everyone was shocked. The 10,000 beasts' ancestor gloated. As for Zilei and the others, they were worried to the extreme because they knew very well what it meant to have 3 starry sky cultivators in the ice valley. Longao had entered the ice valley but didn't come out. Could something have happened to him? Zilei and the others didn't immediately step into the ice valley because they still believed in Longao. If Longao was fine and they barged in, wouldn't their sacrifice be in vain and unable to help Longao in the slightest? Chapter 1823. The ice valley was huge. Otherwise, the 3 of them wouldn't have been unable to find Longao after such a long time. However, the 3 of them weren't in a hurry. After all, this was the Ice Valley, the Ice Spirit Clan's territory, their territory. In their eyes, the other party was like a turtle in a jar. According to Xiling and Bai Ling's instructions, Longao quickly found the 10,000-year ice cicada's nest. Brother Long, you have to be careful. The 10,000-year ice cicada's ice cave is very special. If you step in rashly, I'm afraid your body will be frozen instantly. Nodding, Longao's face was also very serious. On the way here, he had already communicated with Xiling and Bai Ling. Although the 10,000-year ice cicada didn't have any attack power, the ice cave had a strong attack power. This was also the real reason why the 10,000-year ice cicada was unwilling to leave the ice cave under normal circumstances. There was only one way to devour the 10,000-year ice cicada, and that was to lure it out. He was extremely helpless because no matter what method Longao used to lure it out, he still couldn't lure it out. With no other choice, he could only go outside the ice cave and see if he could find an opportunity to lure out this cunning 10,000-year ice cicada. Brother Long, don't step into the ice cave. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Longao knew very well that it was impossible to lure the 10,000-year ice cicada out just by luring it out. The only way now was to step into the ice cave himself. Even if it was dangerous, he had to try. He stepped into the ice cave and was safe. He didn't receive any attack. Was he all right? Longao still didn't dare to relax. He stepped into the ice cave with his other foot at the same time. He was still fine and didn't receive any attack. Just like that, Longao walked step by step towards the ice cave. After more than 30 steps, he was almost at the center of the ice cave. What was the result? Brother Long, you have to be careful. I can sense that the 10,000-year ice cicada is hiding here. Bai Ling's voice rang out. Her voice was filled with worry. If it were outside, Bai Ling would not have worried at all. After all, the 10,000-year ice cicada did not have the slightest offensive power. However, inside the ice cave, the situation was completely different. This was because the 10,000-year ice cicada could use the ice cave to attack. Moreover, its attack power was very powerful. Not to mention Longao, even a grade 1 starry sky cultivator would not be able to resist it. This was also the 10,000-year ice cicada's greatest reliance. I know. There was no need for Bai Ling's reminder. Longao's vigilance had already soared to the extreme. His aura spread out in all directions to cover himself. At this moment, the surrounding ice caves suddenly spun, and countless icicles ruthlessly pierced towards Longao. The power of the starry sky. Longao had already sensed it in an instant. The icicles carried the power of the starry sky. If he was pierced by them, he would definitely die. What a cunning 10,000-year ice cicada. It deliberately led him in so that it could catch a turtle in a jar. Longao was not surprised at all. If he did not have full confidence, he would not have stepped into the ice cave so easily. Holding the samsara sword in his hand, he used the first 3 moves of the 36 styles of samsara. They were Samsara 9 Kill, Samsara Chaotic Dance, and Samsara Mad Dance. The Samsara Sword Chi was a very dense counterattack. In the blink of an eye, the icicles and the Luan Lake Sword Chi had already fiercely collided. If it were an ordinary Sword Chi, how could it resist the attack of the icicles? Only Longao's situation was different. The Samsara sword combined with the 36 styles of Samsara released the Samsara sword chi that could completely devour the icicles. F***CK. Suddenly, there was a curse in the ice cave. Hearing this curse, Longao's heart was suddenly filled with joy because he had already determined the location of the voice. He went towards the west and, with the help of spatial teleportation, he arrived at the location in the blink of an eye. In the middle of the ice cave, there was an ice cicada that was neither big nor small. Its entire body was pure white and was very beautiful. Seeing this ice cicada, Longao could almost be sure that this was the 10,000-year-old ice cicada that he was looking for. Without any hesitation, Longao directly used his time-sure kill technique. Perhaps the 10,000-year ice cicada did not react in time, or perhaps it did not expect that the human in front of it could actually stop time. It was directly caught by Longao. Longao was able to catch the 10,000-year ice cicada not only because of luck, but also because of the Samsara sword and the time-sure kill technique. Both were indispensable. Otherwise, not to mention catching the 10,000-year ice cicada, it was unknown whether he could leave the ice cave alive. Until now, Longao still had some lingering fear from the icicle attack. If it was not for his Samsara sword chi that could break it open, he would have been a dead man. Brother Long, quickly devour the 10,000-year ice cicada. Bai Ling's voice revealed a trace of surprise. She never thought that with Brother Long's strength, he could actually catch the 10,000-year ice cicada. If she did not see it with her own eyes, she would have found it hard to believe. Is there no problem if I just devour it directly? Longao was very worried. If he chose to devour it directly, would he be devoured by the 10,000-year ice cicada? No matter what, the 10,000-year ice cicada was still a divine beast of the starry sky. Bai Ling and Xiling certainly knew about Longao's worries. Bai Ling said with a smile, "Brother Long, don't worry. The 10,000-year ice cicada not only has no offensive power, even if it is devoured, there will not be any backlash. However, we will absorb half of the power of the 10,000-year ice cicada later. According to your endurance, you can at most devour half of the 10,000-year ice cicada. Otherwise, I'm afraid your body will explode from the power." Of course, Longao knew that the two of them would not harm him. He nodded his head. Without the slightest hesitation, he sat on the ground in the ice cave and swallowed the 10,000-year ice cicada. He would not choose to give up such a rare opportunity. He had to admit that the 10,000-year ice cicada's power was too great. If he cultivated according to normal circumstances, it would take Longao a year or more to break through the peak of Nirvana rebirth and take half a step into the starry sky realm. And this was in terms of his talent. Long Tian and the others, including Xing Kuan, had all broken through the peak of Nirvana rebirth for 10,000 years. Even so, no one could truly take half a step into the starry sky realm. This was not just a matter of talent, but more of an opportunity and luck. However, after devouring the 10,000-year ice cicada, Longao had full confidence that he could borrow the power of the 10,000-year ice cicada to break through the peak of Nirvana rebirth and even take half a step into the starry sky realm. Outside the ice cave, the three gradually became impatient after searching everywhere without finding their target. They had already searched the entire ice valley, but they still could not find any trace of Longao. At the same time, the three of them thought of a place where Longao could have gone. Longao had already said that he came to the ice valley this time for the so-called divine guardian beast, 10,000-year ice cicada. Could it be that the other party had already taken action? Shocked, the three of them immediately tried to sense the ice cave. However, the three of them were full of confidence, not to mention that the other party was just a puny Nirvana realm martial artist. Even a level 2 starry sky cultivator would not be able to catch the 10,000-year ice cicada. In any case, the 10,000-year ice cicada's speed was there for all to see. Longao, if you are inside, you can come out now. The three of them were just trying to see if Longao was inside the ice cave. If Longao dared to step into the ice cave, then he would not be able to stop the 10,000-year ice cicada's attack and would die without a doubt. And the result? Looking at the figure walking out of the ice cave step by step, the expressions of the three of them completely changed. The three of them seemed to have thought of something. If the other party really caught the 10,000-year ice cicada, then things would become troublesome. At the same time, the three of them could not figure out how Longao could not only step into the ice cave, but also walk out of the ice cave without dying. Even the three of them, without the 10,000-year ice cicada summon, they would not dare to casually step into the ice cave. Because with their strength, they could not guarantee that they would be able to resist the 10,000-year ice cicada's attack with the help of the ice cave. Longao, where is the 10,000-year ice cicada? The faces of the three of them turned gloomy to the extreme, as their bad premonition grew stronger and stronger. They were not worried that Longao would catch the 10,000-year ice cicada. What they were really worried about was that Longao would not only catch the 10,000-year ice cicada, but also devour it. If that was the case, even if they killed Longao, it would be useless. They could only hope that Longao did not devour the 10,000-year ice cicada. Longao, who came out of seclusion a day later, had already successfully devoured and refined half of the 10,000-year ice cicada. Since things had already reached this stage, Longao smiled and said, "I'm sorry, I have already devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada. However, I will remember this kindness. I hope you don't mind." Longao could be considered to be shameless to the extreme. He had already devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada, yet he still wanted them to not mind. Anger, endless anger. The three of them were simply enraged to the extreme, because they really did not expect that Longao had already devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada. They really could not figure out how Longao did it. Although the 10,000-year ice cicada did not have the slightest offensive power, with the help of the ice cave, it was not something that a puny Nirvana realm martial artist could contend against. How did he do it? Longao, a debt of blood must be paid in blood. Since you have devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada, then I will use your life to restrain the divine guardian beast. Bing Ri and Bing Yu rushed out one after another. As for Bing Chen, he was guarding the rear, preventing Longao from escaping. Because a day ago, the other party had disappeared under their noses. The three of them were almost certain that the other party must have a Starry Sky Divine Tool, and it was a Starry Sky Spatial Divine Tool. Half a step into the Starry Sky realm, Longao could truly use the fourth style of reincarnation, the so-called 10,000 feet reincarnation rainbow. Previously, with the help of Xiling, Bai Ling, and the power of the Dragon Seal, he could barely use the 10,000 feet reincarnation rainbow. Now that he could truly use it, he also wanted to see how powerful the real 10,000 feet reincarnation rainbow was. Under the starry sky, with Longao's current strength, he was already an invincible existence. As for whether he could contend against a first-grade starry sky cultivator, it was still unknown. P.S. This chapter is a 3,000-word chapter. It will be finished today. Tomorrow I'll make up for Saturday's outburst. I'll wait until early morning to update. Little 9 will stay up a little and try to update 5 chapters after midnight. Chapter 1824. Reincarnation fourth form, endless reincarnation rainbow. The reincarnation sword in Longao's hand slashed towards the two. Endless sword chi like a rainbow crossed the sky. Everyone was startled. Whether it was Bing Ri or Bing Yu, both of them were shocked because they never expected the other party to be so powerful. A half-step Starry Sky Realm cultivator could compete with a Grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator? It was simply a joke. Of course, a simple half-step Starry Sky cultivator could not do it. Only Longao. With the help of Endless Reincarnation Rainbow, he forced the two to retreat. What a terrifying power! Longao finally understood the true power of Endless Reincarnation Rainbow. Although it was powerful, it could not shake a Starry Sky cultivator, even a Grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator. You're courting death. Bing Chen certainly knew that the reason Longao could step into the half-step Starry Sky cultivator in such a short time was because the other party had swallowed the 10,000-year ice cicada. Anger. Bing Chen's speed was far superior to the two. With a stride forward, his whole body had already rushed out. As a Grade 2 Starry Sky cultivator, ice cicada's strength should not be underestimated. Even if Longao could use Endless Reincarnation Rainbow, he could not compete with a Grade 2 Starry Sky cultivator. There was no chance. Regarding this point, how could Longao not know? He would not fight the three head-on. Longao turned around and quickly left with the help of teleportation. After a few teleportations, his figure disappeared without a trace. Disappeared again? Watching the other party disappear under their noses, the three were furious because they could not figure out how powerful the spatial artifact in the other party's hand was. They did not even sense the slightest spatial fluctuation, as if the other party had disappeared into thin air. Longao, you swallowed the divine guardian beast. No matter where you go, I will not let you go. Kill. How could Bing Chen choose to give up so easily? He quickly chased after them with the two elders. If it was the previous Longao, even if he used teleportation, he might not be able to get rid of the three. In any case, the strength of the three was always there. But now, the situation was completely different. Longao's cultivation had successfully stepped into the Starry Sky realm, and the power of his spatial teleportation had increased again. Even the three of them would not be able to catch up with Longao easily. Longao left the ice gorge at the fastest speed possible. Brother Long, are you alright? Let's split up. The three Starry Sky cultivators of the Ice Spirit clan are already here. Don't stay with me. Otherwise, you'll all be in big trouble. Brother Longao waved his hand. Of course, he didn't want to implicate his friend. Without giving Xiling and his master a chance to speak, Longao had already walked towards Xing Kuan and the others. He couldn't implicate his friends, but that didn't mean that he couldn't kill with a borrowed knife. Longao, what do you mean by this? Longao did not want to take action himself. If Xing Kuan and the others chose to self-destruct, it would be very troublesome even if he had successfully broken through to the half-step Starry Sky realm. It would be best if he could kill Xing Kuan and the others with the help of the three Starry Sky cultivators of the Ice Spirit clan. Xing Kuan and the others obviously knew what Longao meant. They were shocked and didn't dare to confront Longao directly. However, at this moment, three figures had already arrived from the valley. There was no doubt that they were the three Starry Sky cultivators of the Ice Spirit clan. Since they couldn't escape, they could only choose to turn hostile. Longao, you're courting death? Xing Kuan and the others attacked Longao directly without stopping. Obviously, they wanted to kill Longao. Longao, stay, idiot. Longao sneered. Since he couldn't defeat the three Starry Sky cultivators, there was only one choice, which was to attack Xing Kuan. In the past, it would have been very difficult to defeat Xing Kuan and the others. But now, Longao was not afraid at all. Half a step into the Starry Sky realm, Longao's strength was completely above Xing Kuan's. Among the remaining people, Longao was already the strongest. Not only that, but under the starry sky, Longao was invincible. The Samsara sword in his hand had already slashed out fiercely. The fourth move of Samsara Rainbow, was like a long rainbow, slashing directly at everyone. F***CK. Sensing the terrifying sword chi released by Longao, everyone was stunned, especially Xing Kuan and Punishment Master. The two of them really couldn't figure out how Longao's strength had suddenly become so strong. Could it be that Longao had already devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada? According to Mo Wudao, as long as Longao could devour the 10,000-year ice cicada, he would be half a step into the starry sky realm, surpassing the Nirvana rebirth cultivators and truly becoming an invincible existence under the starry sky. Among the countless cultivators in the Tianwu continent, including Xing Kuan and the myriad beasts' ancestor, no one had ever reached this realm. Xing Kuan and the others, who had already guessed the truth, were extremely shocked because they knew very well that in the current situation, they were no longer Longao's match. That was exactly the case. Xing Kuan and Punishment Master didn't dare to meet Longao head-on and chose to retreat continuously. The three of them were already close. Longao didn't dare to be careless in the slightest. With the help of spatial teleportation, after a few spatial teleportations, he disappeared without a trace. Longao. Seeing the figure disappear again, Bing Chen was extremely angry. Ignoring the others, the three of them directly chased after him. Both sides soon disappeared. What should we do now? Jian Tian's face was helpless. Although he wanted to help Longao, the strength of the three Ice Valley Starry Sky cultivators was there. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't afraid. Fan Tian and Purple Thunder sighed deeply. How could the two of them not know the seriousness of the matter? Although Longao was half a step into the Starry Sky cultivator, he was facing three genuine Starry Sky cultivators. Not to mention three Starry Sky cultivators, even if it was just any one of them, Longao wouldn't be able to easily deal with them. Fan Tian shrugged helplessly and said helplessly, with our strength, not only can we not help Ao, we will even implicate Ao. So we don't need to do anything else. Let's find a way to find an exit. If Ao can get rid of the three Starry Sky cultivators, he can leave this space with us. Although Purple Thunder Ancestor was unwilling, he had no choice but to agree with Fan Tian's approach. Purple Thunder Ancestor and the others didn't chase in the direction Longao left. Instead, they went in the opposite direction. As for Xing Kuan and the others, they chose to go in the left direction. In this situation, everyone was divided into two teams and went in different directions. Being chased by three Starry Sky cultivators, Longao used all his strength to teleport. Chapter 1825. Being chased like this wasn't a good idea. Longao knew very well that he had to find an exit as soon as possible to leave this space. The three of them were like ghosts, entangling Longao. Devouring the 10,000-year-old ice cicada was equivalent to exterminating the Ice Spirit clan. How could the three give up so easily? They stopped abruptly. Bing Chen, Bing Ri, Bing Yu, I've already devoured the 10,000-year-old ice cicada. Even if you kill me, it won't change anything, right? Humph, Longao, the 10,000-year ice cicada is the divine guardian beast of my Ice Spirit clan. How dare you choose to devour it? If I don't tear you into pieces, how can I face the ancestors of the Ice Spirit clan? Longao was almost certain that the Ice Spirit clan didn't belong to the Tianwu continent. In other words, the Ice Spirit clan came from the vast starry sky. As for which plane they came from, it was unknown. Bingchen, if I'm not wrong, your current cultivation is only a second-grade starry sky cultivator. So what if I am? Bingchen was very curious. He didn't know what Longao meant. I have a rank 4 starry sky godhead. As long as you don't pursue this matter, I can give it to you. Longao didn't want to continue being entangled. Taking a step back was the best option. As for the starry sky godhead, he could continue to look for it after leaving this space. Rank 4 starry sky godhead? There was no doubt. A trace of greed appeared on Bing Chen's face. The result? Bing Chen sighed deeply and said coldly, "If we were outside, a rank 4 starry sky godhead could indeed tempt me. But now, it's useless even if I get it." "Why is that?" Longao was surprised. Bing Chen was only a second-grade starry sky cultivator. If he could devour a rank 4 starry sky godhead, he could definitely become a 4th-grade starry sky cultivator in the future. He didn't believe that Bing Chen could resist such a temptation. Longao, because of the restrictions in the starry sky secret realm, no matter who it is, no one is allowed to devour a starry sky godhead without permission. So that's how it is. If that was the case, things would be troublesome. Longao, kill yourself? Kill himself? Longao smiled. Bing Chen, I believe that you have been sealed here for 10,000 years. If I have a way to get you out of the star's secret realm, will you help me? Impossible. Bing Chen did not even think about it, as he was well aware of the limitations of the starry sky secret realm. Even a true starry sky cultivator would not be able to do that, let alone a half-step starry sky cultivator. The restrictions of the starry sky secret realm were such that even the starry sky domain lord would have to bow his head. You don't have to worry about that. I have my ways. You just have to nod or shake your head. Such a temptation was simply too tempting. If they could leave the starry sky secret realm and return to the vast starry sky, it would not be difficult for the three of them to rebuild the Ice Spirit clan. The only thing Bing Chen was worried about was that Longao was up to no good. This matter was truly a little inconceivable. The reason why Longao dared to say that was because of Xiling and Bai Ling. According to what Xiling and Bai Ling had said, he would not be able to take the others with him. He could only take Bing Chen and the other two with him. The reason was simple. Xiling and Bai Ling had already devoured the power of the 10,000-year ice cicada. The 10,000-year ice cicada's power was almost the same as Bing Chen's and the other two's. Furthermore, the two had a close relationship. Therefore, even if he took the three out of the starry sky secret realm, the oracle would not be able to sense it. As for the others, it was impossible. Alright, I agree. What do you need me to do? Bing Chen was not a fool. There was no such thing as a free lunch. Why would Longao be so kind for no reason? He had witnessed the other party's speed with his own eyes. As long as the other party did not stop, they might not be able to catch up with him. It's very simple. Help me for 100 years. After 100 years, the three of you can leave the Tianwu continent and return to the vast starry sky. Longao did not hide anything. He roughly explained the situation of the Tianwu continent. What do the two elders think? Longao did not rush them. He just stood to the side and thought about his own matters. Master, we've already been sealed here for 10,000 years. If we can leave, it's not a bad thing. I'm just worried that this brat will play some tricks on us. I know what I'm doing. Perhaps it was because they had been sealed for too long, but Bing Chen did not want to continue staying here. He nodded. Alright, I agree. However, Longao, you'd best remember what you said today. If you dare play any tricks, I won't let you off. No. Before he could finish, Longao's expression changed. He directly shook his head. Sorry, but I've changed my mind. The three of you should continue staying here. You bastard, you dare to play with us? Seeing that the other party had suddenly changed his mind, the three of them already knew that the other party was clearly toying with them. It was simply unbearable, unbearable, and unbearable. If they did not kill Longao, how could they swallow their anger? Bing Chen and the other two elders were extremely angry. The three of them besieged Longao. However, in the next second, Longao, who had been there just a moment ago, disappeared into thin air. This disappearance was different from the previous 3 disappearances. He had completely disappeared. What just happened? Master, someone must have helped Longao. I just don't know who this person is. How dare he make an enemy of our Ice Spirit clan? Have you ever wondered how Longao, who has just stepped into the secret realm of stars, could know about the 10,000-year ice cicada? It seems that someone is secretly helping Longao. According to my guess, this person should be someone from the secret realm of stars. Hearing the 2 elders' analysis, Bing Chen's face instantly darkened. If this was the case, things would be really troublesome. The enemy was in the dark, while they were in the light. If this continued, they would always be at a disadvantage. Who could it be? After thinking about it, Bing Chen and the other 2 elders could not figure out the identity of the other party. The secret realm of stars was too big. There were 9 spaces in total. Not to mention the terrifying spaces at the back. Just the first 4 spaces alone had many races more powerful than the Ice Spirit clan. As for the practitioners of the starry sky, who were more powerful than them, they were a little abnormal. Among so many people, it was impossible to guess who was the one who was going against the Ice Spirit clan by mere guesses. It was simply a joke. Bing Chen was extremely depressed. They had been tricked for no reason. Not only had they lost the 10,000-year ice cicada, but now they could not even find the person who had swallowed it. How could they explain this to their ancestors? Master, what should we do now? Chapter 1826. What should I do? Bing Chen still wanted to ask what he should do now. In another place, Ancestor, why are you here? The person who had just sent a message to Longao was none other than Long Batian, a level 9 starry sky cultivator. Longao had never imagined that Long Batian would appear here. It was simply unbelievable. Brother Long, remember one thing. Don't try to take anyone or any starry sky divine beast away in the starry sky secret realm. Otherwise, you will be in big trouble. Don't take any chances. Longao did not doubt Long Batian's words. Fortunately, he had not taken Bing Chen and the others away. Fortunately, he had not made a big mistake. Brother Long, I will remember. The oracle is not in the Tianwu continent, so I snuck in. I will leave soon. Brother Long, I still have to rely on you for the starry sky secret realm. It was better to rely on himself than on others. Longao had never thought that he would have to rely on others for the starry sky secret realm. Your cultivation has stepped into the half-step starry sky realm. You are invincible in the starry sky realm. Longao did not speak. According to my senses, your cultivation speed is too fast. This time, after devouring the 10,000-year ice cicada, your realm has been forcibly raised. If it is not stable, even if you can break through to the starry sky realm in the future, I am afraid it will be very troublesome. This was also the thing that Longao was most helpless about. It was not a good thing to raise one's cultivation too fast. Before Longao could speak, Long Batian continued, for 1 year, do not comprehend the origin power, even if you have the chance. Understand? Longao was very clear that Long Batian would definitely not harm him. Nodding, Longao said with a smile, Brother Long, I will remember. Be careful. Long Batian turned and left. After a few steps, his figure disappeared without a trace. Only at this moment did Longao truly heave a sigh of relief. This time, if the ancestor had not appeared in time, it would have been very difficult for him to get rid of the 3. In this case, it would not be so easy for the 3 to find him. Now that he had successfully devoured the 10,000-year ice cicada, the next thing to do was to find the exit as quickly as possible. It would be a long time before they could leave the secondary space. Nobody knew how many such spaces there were in the secondary space. Longao was almost certain that every space in the secondary space had star-state cultivators. Until now, there was still no clue as to the location of the space passage. Even Xiling and Bai Ling couldn't sense the location of the tunnel. In the Dragon Seal space. Long Fu, what's the matter? Ever since the appearance of the Dragon Seal true body, Long Fu rarely spoke, which made Long Ao think that Long Fu was still missing his former master. Long Ao was very clear. Long Tian's and Long Mie's situations were completely different. Long Tian was the temporary master of the Dragon Seal. Long Fu could get rid of Long Tian for his sake, but could Long Fu also get rid of Long Mie for his sake? It was almost impossible. Master, I just sensed a star-state divine weapon. If you can get it, I believe it will be of great help to you. A star-state divine weapon? Long Fu, can I use a star-state divine weapon with my current strength? If a cultivator who hadn't broken through the star-state used a star-state divine weapon by force, wouldn't he be devoured by the weapon? Long Ao had already obtained a Starry Sky God tool, which was given to him by Mo Wu Dao. Although it was only a level 2 star-state divine weapon, Long Ao had once used it. However, no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't truly control it. If that was the case, was it worth it to delay the search for the exit for a star-state divine weapon? As if he could guess what his master was thinking, Long Fu smiled and said, "Don't worry, master. This star-state divine weapon is very special. With your current strength, you're more than capable of using it." Long Fu, what's the level of this star-state divine weapon? That was what Long Ao was really concerned about. A level 1 star-state divine weapon. There was a slight difference. However, Long Ao was very clear that since Long Fu wanted a star-state divine weapon, it must be extraordinary. Thinking of this, Long Ao didn't hesitate and shot towards the direction Long Fu pointed out. Ice Valley? Looking at the ice valley in front of him, Long Ao was completely stunned. Because he never thought that the place Long Fu asked him to find the star-state divine weapon was the ice valley that he had just left. It wasn't easy for him to shake off Bing Chen and the other two's pursuit. If he returned to the ice valley now, wouldn't he be like a lamb in a tiger's den? Long Fu, what do you mean? Although he knew that Long Fu wouldn't harm him, Long Ao still couldn't help but wonder what Long Fu meant. Master, I believe you have seen the power of Long Tian and Tong Zun's Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron. Nodding, Long Ao still had lingering fears about the power of the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron in Long Tian and Tong Zun's hands. If he hadn't been able to enter the Dragon Seal space, he believed that he would have died under the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron. At this time, why did Long Fu suddenly mention the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron? Could it be? Long Ao seemed to have guessed something, but he still didn't believe it. If the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron really existed in the Ice Valley, then it would be worth it to take the risk to enter the Ice Valley again. Long Ao really couldn't resist the temptation of the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron's power. Master, I believe you have guessed it. Yes, there is indeed an Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron in the Ice Valley, and it's a level 1 star-state divine weapon. If Master can get it, even if you encounter a level 1 star-state cultivator, you won't be in a passive position. Excitement, surprise? Long Fu, if the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron in the Ice Valley is a level 1 star-state divine weapon, then what is the level of the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron in Long Tian and Tong Zun's hands? Long Ao was almost certain that whether it was Long Tian's Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron or Tong Zun's Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron, they were definitely not Starry Sky divine tools. It was hard to imagine how powerful the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron would be if it was a real Starry Sky divine tool. Master, the Ice-Fire 9-layered cauldron in their hands is just an imitation of a star-state divine weapon. If it was a real star-state divine weapon, they wouldn't be able to use it with their strength. So that was it. Imitation of a star-state divine weapon, Longao roughly understood what Long Fu meant. Although the Icefire 9-layered cauldron in their hands was an imitation of a star-state divine weapon, its power was definitely far above a real one. Just by relying on the imitation of a star-state divine weapon, even Xing Kuan might not be a match for them. P.S. Chapter 3. Chapter 1827. The Starry Sky Divine Artifact Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Longao was determined to get it. "Brother Long, you must be careful." Bai Ling looked worried. After all, Bing Chun and the other two were all Starry Sky cultivators, and Bing Chun was even a second-level Starry Sky cultivator. If Longao was found, it would not be so easy to leave the Ice Valley. Longao smiled. The most dangerous place was also the safest place. Even if Bing Chun and the other two were killed, they would not think that he would return to the Ice Valley. Longao even asserted that the three of them must not have returned to the Ice Valley, but were looking for him outside. How could they let him devour the 10,000-year ice cicada? In the Ice Valley. Longao stepped into the Ice Valley for the second time, and the feeling was completely different. If Long Fu had not sensed the existence of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, he would not have known that there was a Starry Sky divine artifact hidden in the Ice Spirit clan, and it was the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Not only that, what Longao really valued was that with his current strength, he could use this Starry Sky divine artifact. This was the most important thing. "Long Fu, where is the Icefire 9-layered cauldron?" He was a little impatient. Now that his cultivation was half a step into the Starry Sky realm, if he could get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, Longao was full of confidence. Not to mention the warriors under the Starry Sky, even if he encountered a first-level Starry Sky cultivator, he would be able to fight. As for whether he could defeat a first-level Starry Sky cultivator, it was still unknown. However, Longao was confident that in his current situation, even a first-level Starry Sky cultivator would not be able to kill him. In addition to half a step into the Starry Sky realm, the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, the biggest reason and the biggest reliance was the Samsara sword. Because no one would believe that the Samsara sword chi could break the power of the Starry Sky. "Master, it's about 3,000 meters away from the ice cave." According to the location pointed out by Long Fu, Longao seemed to be a little impatient. He directly used space teleportation and his speed soared to the extreme. A huge open space, which was rare, there was no ice around. A Tai Chi 8 trigrams. One side was fiery red, while the other side was sky blue. In the center of the Taiji 8 trigrams, there was a small cauldron shrouded in flames and ice. Seeing the small cauldron, Longao's face was filled with pleasant surprise. If there were no surprises, the small cauldron in the Taiji 8 trigrams should be the Icefire 9-fold cauldron that Xiao Chen was looking for. One can wear out iron shoes in a fruitless search, only to find it by chance. "Master, be careful." He nodded. Of course, Longao knew that snatching the Icefire 9-layered cauldron would not be an easy task. What piqued Longao's curiosity was that since the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was inside the Ice Valley, why hadn't Bing Chen's group obtained it? Could there be something fishy about this? However, things had already come to this point. Longao could no longer care about anything else. He did not immediately step into the Taiji 8 trigrams. Instead, he stood outside and stared at the Taiji 8 trigrams in front of him without blinking. He picked up a pebble from the ground and threw it at the Icefire 9-layered cauldron in the Taiji 8 trigrams. The situation suddenly changed. The Taiji 8 trigrams, which was as calm as before, suddenly shot out two bolts of lightning. One was a flame light and the other was an ice light. They directly struck the small pebble. Before Longao could react, the small pebble had already disappeared without a trace. He was shocked. Although he had already guessed that there was something wrong with the Taiji 8 trigrams in front of him, he still did not expect the Taiji 8 trigrams to be so terrifying. Longao could clearly sense how powerful the 2 bolts of lightning that the Taiji 8 trigrams had just shot out were. Brother Long, just now, sister and I have already sensed it. If there are no accidents, this Taiji 8 trigrams should be guarding this ice valley. It will not be easy to obtain the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Longao finally understood why Bing Chen's group did not snatch the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. It turned out that the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was guarding the ice valley. Once touched, the entire ice valley would collapse. There was another reason. It seemed that the power of the Taiji 8 trigrams was too strong. Even with the strength of Bing Chen's group, they were unable to shake the Taiji 8 trigrams, let alone snatch the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. With such power, Longao did not dare to touch it casually. Taking a deep breath, Longao used his finger as a sword and used the reincarnation sword chi, constantly shooting at the Taiji 8 trigrams. However, the incomparably fierce reincarnation sword chi was like a stone sinking into the sea, attacking cotton. He could only watch, unable to move. If he had not entered the ice valley, and did not know about the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, it would have been fine. But now, the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was clearly in front of him, but he could not obtain it. It would be a lie to say that he was not depressed. How to obtain the Icefire 9-layered cauldron? Immersed in the situation, Longao was prepared to personally test the power of the Taiji 8 trigrams, because only in this way would he be able to find a better way to break the Taiji 8 trigrams. He took a step forward with his right foot. As soon as he stepped into the Taiji 8 trigrams, 2 terrifying forces instantly enveloped him. Before Longao could react, he had been ruthlessly attacked by the power of ice and fire. His body was thrown out like a kite with a broken string. Longao's cultivation was half a step into the starry sky realm, and his physical defense had reached a very strong level. Even so, he still could not resist the attack of the power of ice and fire. It was fortunate that he was so. Otherwise, he would have died by now. What a terrifying Taiji 8 trigrams! He would not know until he tried it. The power of the so-called Taiji 8 trigrams was exactly the 2 extreme powers of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. One was the extreme power of fire, and the other was the extreme power of ice. Longao knew very well that the Icefire 9-layered cauldron in front of him was not a replica of a starry sky divine weapon, but a real one. Otherwise, it could not have such terrifying power. Should he just give up like this? Longao stopped for a moment. The Icefire 9-layered cauldron is obviously sealed here by a powerful starry sky cultivator. If you want to get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, you must first break the seal here. Otherwise, you will only die if you force your way in. Even though it was depressing, what Violet Spirit said was true. Right now, there was only one thing that he had to do, and that was to think of every possible way to break open the seal here before anything else. If the seal was not broken, he would not be able to get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Xiling, how can I break the seal here? I've already sensed it. The person who sealed the Icefire 9-layered cauldron should be a Grade 4 Starry Sky cultivator. Therefore, only a powerful Grade 4 Starry Sky cultivator or above could break the seal. With your strength alone, even with the help of the 2 of us, you won't be able to break the seal. Chapter 1828. His face became more and more dignified. Longao knew very well what a Grade 4 Starry Sky cultivator meant. Not to mention a Grade 4 Starry Sky cultivator, even a Grade 4 Starry Sky cultivator did not exist. What should he do? Should he just give up? If it were an ordinary Starry Sky divine tool, Longao would definitely not waste his time on it. Only the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. According to Xiling, even with his current strength, he could really use the power of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. Based on this alone, the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was a must. Inside the wordless heavenly book space. Longao, what do you want from me? Every time he saw the black-robed young man in front of him who looked exactly like him, Longao felt a deep pain in his balls. Even now, he was still not sure whether the mysterious young man in front of him was his 100 reincarnation original body or not. Senior, I want you to help me get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. After thinking about it, Longao could only think of this person. Although he had not really seen the strength of the mysterious young man, Longao could be sure that his 100 reincarnation original body was not only a starry sky cultivator, but also a super existence above a grade 9 starry sky cultivator. For a long time, Longao believed in his intuition. Longao, I will not help you. Longao was not surprised at all because he had already guessed that the black-robed young man would not agree. Senior, I am determined to get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. So what? The black-robed young man seemed a little surprised and asked with a smile. If Senior is not willing to help me, I can only take the risk. If I unfortunately die, it seems that Senior will have to re-enter the cycle of reincarnation. A threat. A blatant threat. Longao knew that his threat might not be useful, but things had already reached this point. If the black-robed young man was not willing to help, he could only choose to give up. He was unwilling to accept this. If he could get the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, then with the double power of the reincarnation sword and the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, he would even have a chance to kill a grade 1 starry sky cultivator. It was precisely because of this that the Icefire 9-fold cauldron had to be obtained. The black-robed young man did not speak, and neither did Longao. For a moment, the space of the wordless heavenly book fell into silence. Time trickled by. After an unknown period of time, the black-clothed youth suddenly raised his head and said, "Only this time. Don't do it again." Hearing this, Longao was overjoyed. Entering the space of the wordless heavenly book this time, he was just trying his luck. It would be best if the black-clothed young man agreed, but if he didn't, he wouldn't lose anything. Thank you, Senior. Leaving the space of the wordless heavenly book, Longao couldn't help but be pleasantly surprised. In the next second, a black figure suddenly appeared, releasing a terrifying power of the starry sky, which directly enveloped the entire Tai Chi 8 trigrams. The Tai Chi 8 trigrams, which had been extremely powerful just now, was like a mouse that had seen a cat when it encountered the terrifying power of the starry sky. It had no power to resist at all. Remember, don't do it again. If you dare to threaten me in the future, humph. Looking at the small cauldron in his hand, Longao was simply overjoyed. Just as Long Fu said, although the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was a starry sky divine weapon, with his strength, he could actually use the power of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. After successfully obtaining the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, Longao did not hesitate at all, turned around and quickly left. According to Xiling's senses, the Icefire 9-layered cauldron was the existence that suppressed the Ice Valley. If it left its position, wouldn't it mean that the entire Ice Valley would be destroyed? He had to leave this place as soon as possible, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. Longao used teleportation, and after a few teleportations, he successfully left the Ice Valley. This was Longao's speed. If it was an ordinary Nirvana Realm warrior, he believed that he would not be able to leave the Ice Valley in time. Just as he stepped out of the Ice Valley, before Longao had time to turn over and look, the entire valley in front of him had collapsed. With a loud bang, the valley was torn apart and instantly turned into a pile of ruins. Longao, I'm going to tear you to shreds. Unable to find any trace of Longao, Bing Chen and the other two, who had just returned, saw the collapse of the Ice Valley, and their entire bodies started to crumble. This did not mean that they cared about the life and death of their clansmen. They only cared about one thing, and that was the collapse of the Ice Valley, which meant that the starry sky divine tool guarding the Ice Valley had disappeared. Strictly speaking, it had been taken away by Longao. Longao had returned to the Ice Valley for a second time, and he had simply looked down on them and did not take them seriously. This was a great humiliation. If they did not kill Longao, how could they swallow this insult? With just the three of you? Longao sneered. He did not take the three of them seriously at all. They could not catch up with him when his cultivation was not half a step into the starry sky realm, let alone now. Longao's figure kept appearing and disappearing under space teleportation. As for Bing Chun and the other two, how could they let Longao go so easily? In anger, the three of them sped up to the extreme, but they still could not catch up with Longao. Was this true? If they had not experienced it themselves, they would have found it hard to believe. The three of them thought that they were very strong, especially Bing Chen, who was a second-level starry sky cultivator. Even a second-level starry sky cultivator might not be able to completely shake them off, let alone a Nirvana realm warrior who had just half a step into the starry sky realm. There was only one explanation. Longao must have a space divine weapon, and he could only shake them off with the help of the space divine weapon. In other words, if the three of them wanted to catch up with him, they had to use a space divine weapon. However, among all the space divine weapons were the most difficult to obtain. What should they do? Master, why don't we use the treasure of the Ice Spirit clan? The Ice Spirit mirror is on the verge of breaking. It can only be used one more time. I can't believe we have to use it for the last time for an insignificant Nirvana realm warrior. Alas. He sighed deeply. Even if he did not want to do it, what could he do? Even so, the three of them did not slow down in the slightest. There was a distance of several hundred meters between the two sides. Even so, the three of them could never catch up to the other side. It was an extremely depressing situation for them. Humph, Longao, I'll show you the power of the Ice Spirit Mirror, the treasure of the Ice Spirit clan. Ice Spirit Mirror? The treasure of the Ice Spirit clan? Hearing Bing Chen's words, Longao did not know why, but he had a bad feeling. As a powerful clan, the Ice Spirit clan must have an extraordinary treasure. However, since things had come to this point, he could only choose to leave as quickly as possible. As for the treasure of the Ice Spirit clan, only a fool would care about it. Chapter 1829. The Ice Soul Mirror was the most precious treasure of the Ice Spirit clan. Once the Ice Soul Mirror was used, everything within 1,000 meters would be frozen in an instant. The Ice Spirit clan relied on this powerful starry sky divine weapon to gain a foothold in the advanced planes. Although the Ice Soul Mirror was powerful, it also had a fatal weakness. It could only be used 10 times. Since the first master of the Ice Spirit clan used it, it had been used 9 times. In other words, now the Ice Soul Mirror could only be used 1 time. If Bing Chen could not defeat Longao with the help of the Ice Soul Mirror, then it would be impossible to lock onto Longao again. There was only one chance. Longao, who was running at full speed, suddenly felt that all the space around him was frozen. He was shocked. He did not dare to be careless. Longao certainly knew that this must be the space divine weapon used by Bing Chen, but he never expected the starry sky divine weapon in Bing Chen's hand to be so powerful. Using his finger as a sword, Bing Chen swung his sword backward. Reincarnation sword chi came out one after another. In the blink of an eye, Longao had set up a shield of reincarnation sword chi around him. It was an absolute vacuum. He was locked onto thousands of meters away. Longao knew very well that as soon as he left the shield of reincarnation sword chi, he would be locked onto immediately. At that time, he would be meat on the chopping board, at the mercy of others. The situation was critical. At the critical moment of life and death, Longao was a little overwhelmed. With the help of the reincarnation sword chi around him, he slowly walked forward, but his speed was obviously slowed down. Not only that, he could not even use teleportation. A few seconds later, Bing Chen and the other two had arrived in front of Longao. The three of them did not waste any time this time. Each of them used all their strength to attack Longao fiercely. A second-level Starry Sky cultivator and two first-level Starry Sky cultivators. The three of them attacked together. Even a second-level Starry Sky cultivator could not resist such a joint attack, let alone an ordinary warrior. He was in big trouble. Longao kept retreating, shock written all over his face. Because in this situation, was he doomed? At the critical moment, just when Longao thought he was going to die, the situation suddenly changed. If he didn't have the Ice Spirit Mirror's lock, he could easily leave by relying on Longao's space teleportation. But now, two terrifying sword chis suddenly erupted from Longao's body. One was a purple sword chi and the other was a white sword chi. The two streams of sword chi were like sword dragons as they crisscrossed with each other. The cries of swords resounded through the entire space. Xiling, Bai Ling, Longao knew that the people who came to his rescue were Xiling and Bai Ling. If it had been an ordinary grade 1 Starry Sky cultivator, it would have been fine. However, there were three of them, and Bing Chen was a grade 2 Starry Sky cultivator. Go for wool and come home shorn. If something happened to Bai Ling and Xiling because of her, she would blame herself for the rest of her life. Brother Long, we're here to help you. Don't. Of course, Xiling and Bai Ling wouldn't care about Longao. If they didn't help, Longao would definitely die. How could the two of them let that happen? The two streams of sword chi directly attacked the three of them. The three of them, who were confident that they could kill Longao, were suddenly attacked by the two streams of sword chi. They didn't seem to be able to react in time and were directly pushed back by the two streams of sword chi. Starry Sky Jianling. Bing Chen and the others instantly knew that there were two Starry Sky Jianling in their opponent's body. Otherwise, it would be impossible to release such powerful sword chi. Sect Master, the Starry Sky sword spirit in Longao's body, if I'm not mistaken, is at least above the 6th level of Starry Sky realm. Bing Chen nodded in agreement. Greed was written all over Bing Chen's face. If the three of them could get the two streams of sword chi, their cultivation would skyrocket. Longao, as long as you hand over the two Starry Sky Jianling in your body, I'll let you go. From then on, the grudge between you and me will be written off. What do you think? The Ice Soul Mirror could last for dozens of minutes. Otherwise, Bing Chen wouldn't have dared to waste time like this. Do you think I'll agree? Xiling and Bai Ling temporarily scared the three of them. However, with their current strength, it was impossible for them to fight against three Starry Sky cultivators. Once they were seen through, the consequences would be unimaginable. The Samsara sword in his hand continued to release Samsara sword chi and set up a Samsara sword chi shield around his body. However, under such circumstances, his speed would be very slow. Since you don't agree, I'll kill you first and then devour the two Jianling. Laughing wildly, the three of them charged toward Longao again. In their opinion, the two Jianling in Longao's body were also destroyed. Only the vital spirit remained. No matter how powerful he was, he wouldn't be able to withstand their joint attack. Out of greed, the three of them couldn't wait to devour the two Jianling in Longao's body. Before the three of them could get close, the two streams of sword chi instantly expanded and slashed toward them again. They had been careless and didn't expect this. Now, the three of them were prepared. The three of them joined forces and combined their terrifying strength, directly colliding with the two streams of sword chi. It wasn't as earth-shattering as they had imagined. Both Xiling and Bai Ling spat out a mouthful of blood at the same time. Their faces were pale. No matter what, they were still starry Jianling. Without the primordial spirit in their bodies, their strength was greatly reduced. This was the real reason why the three of them could seriously injure the two of them when they joined forces. Long Fu, seal the dragon seal. Don't let Xiling and Bai Ling attack again. Of course, Longao could clearly sense the injuries of Xiling and Bai Ling. If they continued to attack, no one could guarantee what would happen to Xiling and Bai Ling. The only way now was to let Long Fu seal the dragon seal space. In this way, with the current strength of Xiling and Bai Ling, they wouldn't be able to break the seal and attack. In Long Ao's view, their lives were more important than his own. Long Fu, of course, knew the seriousness of the matter. He immediately sealed the dragon seal space. Long Fu, hurry up and open the seal. We have to save Long Ao. Xiling and Bai Ling were completely panicking. According to Long Ao's strength, it was impossible for him to resist the joint forces of 3 starry sky cultivators. If the two of them didn't attack, Long Ao would undoubtedly die. However, at this moment Long Fu sealed the space. The two of them were furious to the extreme. However, according to their strength, it was impossible for them to break the seal. In other words, only Long Fu could open the seal of the dragon seal space. Chapter 1830. Miss Xiling, Miss Bai Ling, I can't let you go out. Please forgive me. Long Fu would certainly choose to listen to Long Ao. If something happened to Xiling and Bai Ling, he didn't know how to explain it to his master. Outside the dragon seal space, the three of them were heavily injured by the two-sword cheese. Because of this, Long Ao took the opportunity to rush out with all his strength. Chase after him. In the blink of an eye, dozens of minutes had passed. Bing Chen and the other two were extremely depressed. They thought that with the help of the Ice Soul Mirror, they could definitely kill the other party. But what happened? No one expected that Long Ao would have two such powerful starry sky Jianling in his body. Even though they were prepared, they were still injured by the two-sword cheese. It was hard to imagine how powerful the two-sword cheese in Long Ao's body were. Long Ao had escaped from the Ice Soul Mirror's lock. With the help of spatial teleportation, Long Ao's speed soared to the extreme. In the blink of an eye, his figure had disappeared without a trace. The three of them didn't continue to chase. His face was gloomy to the extreme, as unsightly as it could get. Master, the other party's speed is too fast. Without the Ice Soul Mirror's lock, it's difficult for us to catch up with him. Bing Chen nodded. How could Bing Chen not understand the meaning of the two elders' words? Although the two starry sky Jianling injured us, if nothing unexpected happens, the other party is also seriously injured. If we can lock onto Long Ao's position, it'll be easy to devour the starry sky Jianling. Greed. His face was full of greed. Whether it was Bing Ri or Bing Yu, both of them wanted to devour the two starry sky Jianling. Although they couldn't devour any starry sky godhood in the starry sky secret realm, they could devour starry sky godhoods or starry sky Jianling from outside. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that hadn't come across in 10,000 years. With our strength, we can't catch up with Long Ao. The Ice Soul Mirror is useless. The only way now is to borrow the power of the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Upon hearing the Master's words, both of them were shocked. Master, everyone knows about the Nebula Dragon Leopard's greed. Once we borrow its power, even if we can kill Long Ao later, I'm afraid that the two starry sky Jianling will be taken over by the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Worry. All his hard work had gone to someone else's benefit. I have an idea. The three of them headed in another direction. On top of a huge boulder, there was a beast that looked like a dragon but wasn't a dragon. It looked like a leopard but wasn't a leopard. It was the Level 2 Space Mythological Beast, Star Cloud Dragon Leopard. Grade 2 Starry Sky Cultivator and Grade 2 Starry Sky Divine Beast. Although Bing Chun and the Nebula Dragon Leopard were of the same cultivation level, the difference in strength between the two was extremely large. Brother Dragon Leopard, I have something to discuss with you. Bing Chun, you and I have always minded our own business. Why are you looking for me? The Nebula Dragon Leopard was very curious. In this small space, second-grade Starry Sky cultivators were invincible. No one dared to provoke the Ice Spirit Clan, where Bing Chun was from. Because of this, the Nebula Dragon Leopard was very curious. It didn't know why Bing Chun was looking for it. Bing Chun didn't hide anything. He told the Nebula Dragon Leopard everything that had happened before. After listening, the Nebula Dragon Leopard's face was also filled with greed. 2 Jianling with a cultivation level of at least level 6 Starry Sky realm. Even a level 5 Starry Sky cultivator wouldn't be able to resist such temptation, let alone the Nebula Dragon Leopard. Bing Chun, tell me why you're here. I don't want to hear any nonsense. What I mean is very simple. Your speed is enough to compete with Longao. When the time comes, you and I will work together to deal with him. However, there are 2 Starry Sky Jianling. You and I will each devour a Starry Sky Jianling. How does that sound? Deal. The Nebula Dragon Leopard wasn't a greedy person. It knew that it only needed to devour 1 Starry Sky Jianling. As for the second Starry Sky Jianling, it wouldn't be much trouble for Bing Chun. The Nebula Dragon Leopard couldn't wait to find out that Bing Chun had a Starry Sky Jianling in his body. Moreover, it was a Jianling that was at least level 5 or above. Just like that, Bing Chun and the other 2 immediately left with the Nebula Dragon Leopard. As for where to find Longao, the Nebula Dragon Leopard had its own way. Longao, who was out of danger, immediately found a secluded place and entered the Dragon Seal space. Xiling, Bailing, are you okay? Seeing that the 2 of them were safe and sound, Longao finally heaved a sigh of relief. Humph, Xiling snorted coldly and walked to the side. He didn't say a word and was obviously furious. As for Bailing, she also looked worried. However, unlike Xiling, she said, Brother Dragon, can I ask you for a favor? There was no need for Bailing to say anything. Longao already knew what Bailing wanted to ask of him. Shaking his head, Longao refused directly. No, Bailing, your and Xiling's safety is more important than anything else. Even if I die, I won't let anything happen to you. Next time, without my command, you can't attack. Otherwise, I'll make Long Fu seal you here at all times. Bailing was obviously in a difficult position because she knew Brother Dragon's strength very well. If he encountered a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator, he might be able to deal with it. However, what if he encountered 2 or more Starry Sky cultivators? Don't care about him. If he wants to die, let him die. Xiling was very angry, but she felt a little warm in her heart because Longao had just said that he would rather die than let the 2 of them die. This sentence was enough. Longao obviously didn't want to dwell on this issue. Instead, he said, I have successfully obtained the Icefire 9-layered cauldron. With my current strength, with the help of the Reincarnation Sword and the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, can I kill a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator? This was what Longao was most concerned about. Whether it was Bailing or Xiling, they both knew that Longao didn't want to dwell on this issue. Bailing sighed helplessly and said, Brother Dragon, your Reincarnation Sword Chi can break through the power of the Starry Sky. With the help of the Icefire 9-layered cauldron, you should have no problem fighting against a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator who has just entered the level 1 Starry Sky cultivator realm. However, if you face someone who has stabilized the level 1 Starry Sky cultivator realm, you won't know whether you will win or lose. Brother Dragon, I believe you should know that sometimes actual combat experience is very important. Yes. Longao was very clear about the meaning of Bai Ling's words. It seemed that there was still a gap between him and a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator. However, if he wanted to test his current strength, he had to find a level 1 Starry Sky cultivator to test his strength. However, such a martial artist or divine beast might be difficult to find in the outside continents, but in the Starry Sky secret realm, there were Starry Sky cultivators everywhere. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.